everybody, and welcome to the BallGame Blitz TV show tonight, produced by Worthy Road Studios on the TCA High School Facebook page. I'm Dave McCulley along with Stan Gerard. A couple of technical errors tonight, but we're all in good shape. Jay Cashin, our great producer and director, has us on as always, and we look forward to another night of high school football. Tonight, it's the Lions at home against ECS Eagles out of Memphis. These teams have played in the past several times. Stan will have the update on that for you. We do have a little bit of a shorter pregame tonight for you because of the technical issues, but we're back with you. And Stan, good to be back with you. And a couple of comments from you, sir, before we step out, because you had a chance to talk to Blake Butler earlier. I think folks probably want to hear from Blake more than you and I, but bottom line is, good to be back on a hot night in West Tennessee.
Well, it is the second game of the home season, and business is about to pick up. Evangelical Christian, they come this ball game 0-1. They lost to Innsworth last week, 44-0, but don't let that score fool you. This is a very, very good football team. Innsworth just happens to be a very great football team. I look for a spirited contest tonight. Both teams are young, and expectations for both teams run high.
Yeah, the Lions lost a heartbreaker, 36-35 to Adamsville. Let's take that first break, and when we come back, you'll hear the pregame comments of Blake Butler, reminding you that other games covered by the BallGame Blitz TV are Jackson Christian, USJ, and Peabody. Those games are broadcast each high school's Facebook page. We also broadcast all Union University home games for volleyball, basketball, soccer, softball, and baseball. All of our BallGame Blitz games are archived to the Worthy Road Studios YouTube channel as well. Let's take that break we talked about. We have Grayson Resnick in with us tonight. Trace Robertson's here. And again, our executive producer and director is one Jay Cashin. We're back with Blake Butler right after this on the BallGame Blitz.
What has it become? McCoy's Heating and Air, Jackson's most trusted team of technicians.
I'm speaking with the head coach of the TCA Lions, Blake Butler. Coach, week 2 of the high school football season. We're back at it after a tough loss last week.
Yeah, it's an opportunity to rebound with another non-regional opponent. That's going to be a good test. ECS brings in a team that just consistently year in and year out is very competitive in their own division, and really, it's a good challenge to get us ready for our region play.
You look at ECS, historically a very good program, a program that's been around for about 48 years, if I'm not mistaken. They've got about 5 state titles under their belt.
Yeah, I had the opportunity, and a lot of people may not know, is before I came to TCA, I was down at ECS for 4 years before I came up to Jackson, and still some good relationships with those coaches and people at that school, and long football tradition. Hines, who was there for many, many years, and honestly someone I considered a mentor, and a lot of those coaches still on staff at ECS consider a mentor, and was really responsible for a lot of that tradition and success that they had. He was one of the greats that a lot of people don't realize. He coached football and baseball at ECS at one point, and I believe ended up with 4 state titles in football and 3 in baseball, and was just an all-around just a heck of a coach no matter what he did.
Coach, look at their head coach now, Trey Adams. Only been, I believe this is his 4th year, but already percentage-wise, he's the #1 coach in the in Evangelical Christian history.
Yeah, Trey is another one. We were actually teammates at Memphis.
I did not know that.
And so Trey was a kicker down there, and again, he's another one. He played for Coach Hines, and had a chance to come back and take over the program, and has really done a lot of good things down there at ECS. And like I said, there's a good program for us to really use as a measuring stick to see kind of where we are. We've had some games with them in the past. We're fortunate, a few years ago to be able to win a game off of them up here, and and it really is just a fellow Christian school, and a solid football program that we know year in and year out is going to put a very competitive team on the field.
Being that Coach Adams is a former teammate of yours and a kicker to boot, how much extra incentive is there for Coach Blake Butler?
Well, you never, unfortunately, as coaches, we don't get to play any snaps. But it's a fun game for us. Just like I said, we know Coach Adams and a lot of the other coaches over there on the other side of the field. And so it's always a fun, interesting game when you get to compete against guys and guys you respect. And that's something that, again, just knowing the way they do things, I know it's going to be a good game for our team.
let's look at their personnel. And I think one of the top personnel from ECS we're going to have to look at is number 21, John Vargo, an excellent kick returner. We don't want to get him the ball. Decent, good wide receiver, and plays a pretty tough linebacker as well.
Yeah, they lost a few kids off of last year's team, but like I said, when you've got the depth they do, and played a lot of young guys that, they've got guys that can make plays. I know replacing their quarterback and running back, a couple linemen, receiver, things like that from previous year. It just seems, like I said, just with their tradition, there's always another guy that steps in and is a capable playmaker.
Wilson Tedford and Xander Carroll split duty at quarterback this year for him.
Yeah, Tedford's more of their pocket passer. Carroll's more of the athlete. He'll play a little receiver at times. Very quick, shifty, kind of a playmaker back there for him. Like I said, not saying he can't throw the ball, but out of the two, he's probably the kind of the X factor that, like I said, is a little bit more dangerous with his legs. And Tedford, has shown he will run on film and make some plays happen outside of the pocket. But again, he's usually the taller, like I said, the more pocket passer of the two. But like I said, they're both dangerous athletes back there.
Looking at them formation-wise, we're going to see a lot of the slots and trips and one-back offense out of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of things they do that we've done here either now or in the past. They'll be in a lot of single back. They'll get in the pistol formation some, do a couple motions, use the H-back a little bit. But again, they're going to be very multiple in the look we'll see from their offense. I know they try to do some things to be balanced. In the past, they've been pretty run heavy to set up the pass, but like I said, just kind of the route they're going. I think we'll see a little bit of that tonight, but it wouldn't shock me if they open it up a little bit and throw the ball around.
Even though they were defeated 44-0 last week by Innsworth, that's a result you can pretty much throw out the window because a lot of teams are going to get beat by Innsworth 44-0.
Yeah, we had an opportunity here at TCA to see Innsworth and Whitehaven scrimmage on our campus a few weeks back, and that's the result ECS had with Innsworth. You don't need to put a lot of stock in Innsworth. Multiple Division I athletes all over the field, and probably a couple of guys you'll see playing on Sundays in the next 5 to 6 years. And so, when they match up with an Innsworth, it really isn't, an accurate display of, schools our size of what they're capable of. So, again, Innsworth is, kind of a machine amongst itself, and, they're a team that expects to compete for, the large classification state title, which is, like I said, several college-level athletes on the field there. And so ECS, that result doesn't really say anything about their success that they can have in AA this year and the type of team that we're going to see on Friday. And like I said, I think ECS will be excited and ready to play this week, and that result really doesn't dictate the type of team we're going to see on Friday.
I think I'm going to look at it, even though Evangel Christian is a young ball club, half the team's fully half the team's freshmen and sophomores, even though it's a young ball club, I think it's going to be a much more exciting, much more competitive game than what we had last year down there against them.
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, last year it seemed kind of nothing went right for us. But we've had the opportunity to have our middle schools play each other. So a lot of these kids have played against each other in 7th and 8th grade. And so a lot of the kids that will be taking the varsity field, tonight, have had some experience against each other in the past. Like I said, they're a larger school, larger roster. But again, that's something that's a good test for us. Because like I said, rarely are we the larger roster anyway. And like I said, you challenge your kids, we're going to find a way to get it done. And so it's something that really, when we see ECS, they're very comparable to the top teams that we'll see in region playoffs and things like that in single A. And so it kind of shows us and exposes kind of what we need to work on in play.
Of course, look at our own TCA Lions. Took a tough injury last week with Colby Moore in his knee. Adjustments that you're going to make, not only snapping the football for extra points, but defensively as well.
Yeah, we had to scramble a little bit, last week with Colby going down, and really kind of worked, this week of identifying that for sure long snapper. Joshua Delk's done a good job this week, long snapping, and we'll have one of our new players, Joshua Vinson, will have an opportunity to play some outside linebacker as well as a couple other younger guys, and really just an opportunity to look at them and see what they can do on a Friday night, and hopefully start to build some depth and get these guys some experience to where they're ready to help us later in the season.
After a tough loss, I always like to gauge how the team reacted in practice this week. How was practice this week?
Well, we had a few things we had to work through this week, schedule-wise, but for the most part, I felt like Wednesday and Thursday's practices went better. The kids got sharper as the week went on, but like I said, that's something with a young ball club, is learning how to deal with a little bit of adversity and how to bounce back after a tough loss. And so I'll be anxious to see going into the game tonight just how they're able to respond from week to week and get ready to play each Friday.
Coach, we're 1-2 overall against ECS. Let's go out there and even up that series at 2 wins apiece tonight.
Sounds good to me, Stan. Appreciate it.
That's the head coach of the TCA Lions, Blake Butler. You're watching the BallGame Blitz Training Christian Academy Countdown to Kickoff pregame show. We're back after this timeout.
At Alive Hydration Drip Spa, we offer top-of-the-line IV nutritional therapy, which has a wide variety of health benefits. From immune system boosters and skin care, fatigue, energy, and even hangover relief, you can be sure we have an IV blend that's right for you. All of our blends are administered by one of our experienced nurses in a spa setting to ensure you leave feeling re-energized and refreshed. Give us a call or visit our website to book your appointment today. We have what it takes to make you feel alive again at Alive Hydration Drip Spa.
Serving the Jackson area for over 20 years. Carlock Nissan and Carlock Prestige, the name you can count on. Carlock Automotive, Van Drive, Jackson.
For anyone contemplating pre-planning, we can tell you from our experience, it's much easier to make funeral plans and record them now than wait until emotions are running at their highest.
With pre-planning, you can free your mind and heart from having to make big decisions during a time of grief and instead enjoy the freedom to focus on the memories of a life well lived.
Buying a home is a major milestone, and at the Bank of Jackson, we want to help you achieve it. Our mortgage specialists can assist you with conventional, VA, FHA, or construction loans, as well as USDA and THDA development loans. Serving the Jackson area for 25 years. The Bank of Jackson, your down-home community bank. You belong here. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hello, I'm Chad P. Wilson with Foundation Bank, family-owned community bank here in West Tennessee. Your checking account should offer more than a place to just store your money. Our foundation benefits with high-interest accounts include the flexibility of a checking account with tiered interest rates, identity theft protection, cell phone protection, and more. So start a financial conversation with us today by visiting foundationbank.org or calling us on the number at the screen. In the meantime, go Lions! McKinsey Banking Company is an equal housing lender, member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
This could be a true story. On October 3rd, a 2003 hatchback struck and killed a deer that goes by the name Buck. I know, right? He now has Buck's head proudly displayed on his living room wall. He tells a different story.
Shot it.
No, he didn't.
And to hide his lie, he took his car to Mitchell's Body Shop.
No, I didn't.
Yes, he did. And lucky for him, they made it look good as new. And as for Buck, the story continues.
Home furnishings, appliances, bedding, and so much more. Kaufman's. At the Bypass and Oil Well Road in Jackson. Home furnishings for every room in your home. Custom upholstery options too, with professional advice. Major appliances from America's top name brands. Mattresses and bedding accessories. Outdoor living and grilling too. And our fully stocked warehouse helps prevent supply chain delays. Kaufman's, for your life.
Welcome back, everybody. We're back at 10 Windy City Road in the Lions Lair as the captains get ready to meet at midfield. It'll be Keltner out there along with Marshall Ray, Curtis Ray, and Paxton Harwell for your black jersey clad and white pants clad TCA Lions. In the burgundy breeches, the white jerseys with the burgundy numbers will be the captains for the ECS Eagles. Those guys will be Gabe Moss, Caleb McCalla, Nate Rothermeyer, and Boston Curry. That's a really nice name for football. Welcome back, everybody. Dave McCulley along with Stan Gerard. Tonight's ball game being brought to you in part by Aloha Pools, Jackson State Community College, Brooksie's Barn, Southeastern Termite and Pest Control, Elite Dental, Carlock Nissan, Mitchell's Body Shop, West Tennessee Bank, McCoy's Heating and Air, Alive Hydration and Spa, Lifeline Blood Services, Kaufman's Furnishings, along with in appliances, Tennessee Tractor, Walter Wells Solutions, Erickton Funeral Directors, Bank of Jackson, Keene Jewelers, Lonnie Cobb Ford, Nest Realty and Lifestyle, Vision, Dynamics, and Snookums Restaurant. Also our sponsors on our screen there, Jackson State Community College, Jones Chevrolet, Blacksmith Restaurant, and Foundation Bank. And our scoreboard sponsor, that Stan brings you scores from time to time, is Thompson & Smith Insurance. ECS has won the toss. They've elected to receive. They'll be moving on your screen from right to left. And Stan, we're just about ready for a high school football on a sort of humid night here at TCA.
It is a very humid night, very similar to what it was last night for middle school football. Congratulations to the middle school Lions, knocked off Jackson Christian 12-0 for their second victory in 3 years. The elementary school team knocked off USJ on Tuesday. So if our Lions can get the knock off ECS, we can take the week, so to speak.
Sure can. A good crowd. TCA has a nice crowd right below us, although we can't see them as much as we normally have in years past because of the banners. But that's okay. Those are advertisements for the great businesses that sponsor TCA and TCA Athletics. Meanwhile, a nice crowd from ECS. You heard Blake and Stan talk about that great tradition over there, 5 state titles and a lot of history with ECS, just like TCA. And ECS is in the house. There they go with those burgundy helmets, the white jerseys, burgundy numbers, and burgundy pants. And now here come the Lions as the crowd gets ready to rise. And Lions will come out through their big T banner down there. They'll burst through that with the American flag. And here come the Lions, decked out in the black jerseys tonight and the white breeches. Stan, your thoughts about the game? We didn't get a chance to do a lot of pregame because of getting on a little later than normal, but it's okay. We are here with you. What are your thoughts? What does TCA have to do tonight? You did a scouting report on ECS, watching some of that Innsworth film. So what do the Lions have to do tonight to even their record at 1-1?
Well, let's tell you a little bit about ECS and how they got here. A 5-time state champion. They are 359 and 178 overall. This is their 48th season of football. Diamond, 37 of those 48 seasons have been winning seasons. Under the direction of head coach Trey Adams in his 4th year, he's 28-9, winning 75.67% of his games. While there are coaches who have won more games than Coach Adams, percentage-wise, Trey Adams is the winningest coach in ECS history. They bring a lot to the table. They're going to run a spread offense. The quarterbacks are both mobile. The starting quarterback, if it's Tedford, he's a better thrower. Xander Carroll is the better runner. A kid that I'm going to really like to see for Evangelical Christian is number 21. And that is, I'm having a hard time finding my stuff.
21 is John Vargo.
John Vargo, I should have had that. And TCA in their black uniforms with white breeches. ECS in their red uniforms, or red pants, white breeches with red numbers. Folks, it's time to get it up for the get down with the call of the game. Here's the voice of football, Diamond Dave McCulley.
Thank you very much, Stan the Man. Carroll will be back there along with Vargo to receive this Pierce Hosinger end-over-end kickoff. And it will be across the way. Carroll running under it. He's at the 10, 15 to the 20, and you see him scurry up across the 25, and he'll be met by a host of Lions at about the 23, 24-yard line.
Nice coverage by TCA defense. It'll be 1st and 10 ECS. Oh, we're going to say about they're going to mark it about the 29-yard line, Diamond, where it'll be 1st and 10 on the far side hash. Good coverage by TCA there, limiting the big game. We kind of gave up some bigger gains last week. I know they've been wanting to work on that, and obviously it looks like we did.
At front line, Harrison Vance, Rook Stevens. And we'll set the other one for you. That's Ray over there as well. The 3-man front, 29-yard line. That's Son. I thought it was the 24, but they get 5 more than I thought. In the shotgun is Thetford. He'll get that snap and hand it off, and the running back trying to come our way. Turns the corner, doesn't get much as he scampers to about the 30. Outstanding play defensively. The Lions have it covered well, and Zane Atwood made a nice play.
Garrison on the rush. He's going to end up getting about 6, Diamond Dave. Fake the draw inside, then cut it up to the outside. And we were a little bit sucked in on defense, and he got a nice gain, 2nd and 4.
Yeah, got more than I thought. I thought they were going to mark that back inside the 35, but it's at the 36. It'll be 2nd and 4, Stantoya. Crowd settling in here. The sun will be behind the trees in a minute, as we have to shade our eyes to see here. In that gun again, with a back to his left and up back to his right. And they move the back up a little bit, as you see. And here's the handoff. And running that ball will be Garrison again. Garrison has a big hole. He'll make his way across the 40. Up near midfield, he'll be tackled at about the 47-yard line. And the tackle there from the defensive secondary, Nick Jones.
11 yards in the pickup, 17 yards on 2 carries overall. Their first down of the ball game. And Diamond, so far, we have not been able to stop anything. 2 carries.
They've made those runs look easy, haven't they, Stan? With his yellow shoes, and they're ugly, in the flanker position is Jamison Smith. Better than orange, though. It will be Thetford back there wearing number 8, you see. Has Garrison back there with him as they get the play from across the way. Coach Adams and his offensive troops calling it in. 1st and 10 at their own 48. ECS out of Memphis. Thetford throws down the flat and is caught. Single coverage. Smith will turn the corner at midfield. He's running to the 40, to the 35, and inside the 35, and finally tackled downfield by Will Weiser.
On attack was reception by number 7.
There was actually Cooper Bales on that stop. I apologize. 6, not 5. Well, Stan, 3 snaps and 3 positive plays for ECS, and they're inside TCA territory at the 29-yard line.
Yeah, big gains, and so far we're just not getting it done.
Bo Dawson, far side right. Speaking of the name Dawson, football lost a legend this week in the passing of Lynn Dawson, former quarterback for the Chiefs.
Had the privilege of seeing him play later on in his career.
When I followed football a little bit, pro football. Thetford hands it off to Garrison. Garrison has running room, and now that's going to come back. He's inside the 20 down to about the 19, but they're going to get the left or the right guard or right tackle one. Going to be a hole, Stan.
Yeah, right now they're just slashing through us like a knife through hot butter, and we've got to do something to figure out. Holding, it's going to push it back 10 from the spot of the foul.
Jeremy Maddox tuned in tonight. Lois Ann Franklin, Kristen Gehring Lee, Larry Vales, Joey Jones, Randy Coble, Gail Presley all tuned in tonight. I see Savannah right below us. She's home. At the ball at the 39-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 20 after the setback. And they bring in Carroll now. Actually, excuse me, they bring in number 9. I don't have a 9. We'll double check him here in a minute. But here's Thetford in the shotgun. Stands back near his 45 as the shadows creep over the field. Here's a handoff to the new running back and scampering his way across the line of scrimmage, and he'll edge his way to about the 34 as running back. I think that was Vargo who carried it.
That's number 26, Moss.
Emmanuel Moss.
Pickup of
Cooper Bales made the stop along with others. Also on the stop was Lakai Tompkins, who had what a debut he had last week, offensively and defensively, especially offensively. Well, the Lions now see it 2nd and about 15 as they set up shop defensively. Big Rook Stevens in the middle of that thing. Linebacker there with his hands on his hip. A good one with the Lions. That's Kiltner. They put man in motion. Now set him down to the left of the quarterback. Handed again off to the running back. That's Moss. Moss has room. Moss has yardage. Moss has the 1st down to about the 17.
Simple draw play. 15 yards on the pickup. Another 1st down for Evangelical Christian. 21 yards on 2 carries for Moss.
Here go limping out of there, and coming back in for him will be, who do they bring in? They have a receiver far side right. That's Dawson. Where they bring in number 9. I don't have a 9. We'll double check a second roster. We've got about 3 rosters on them. Well, it's going to be 1st and 10. After all of that, the ball at the 17-yard line. 8:20 clock running, a drive that's consuming some time as well. Handoff, knocking his way free like a pinball that time was Garrison. As he was hit at the line of scrimmage, was able to bounce off the would-be tackler and moves for a few yards down even closer to the end zone.
Pickup of 3 on the play, 3 carries, 20 yards for Garrison. For ECS, they've got 31 yards on the ground and 20 in the air so far in this game.
9, I have a Noah Wilders, who I have on my other roster. 2 receivers far side right, 2 here to the near side, slot left here to the wide side of the field, which is toward the TCA stands. Second and about 6.5, 7 yards. Dedford pumps, wants to throw now, tucks it away, and it's going to run. Doesn't get much. Outstanding defensive play there. Staying at home that time was Cooper Bales, and then getting there to help him too was a compadre, Nick Jones and others.
So Tedford
third down.
Tedford will pick up about 1 on that play. Now bring up 3rd and 5.
That was a secondary play there. Dexter Williams, great principal and athletic director here, or athletic director. I'm promoting him. He'll make more money. And it's going to be 2nd down and 5. Thanks. You're a good man, Coach. 2nd and 5. The ball at the 13, between the 12 and 13-yard line. Dedford in that gun. Dedford will hand it off to the running back. He breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, and he's inside the 5, down to about the goal line. Let's see if he's in. Yes. Touchdown run. And that was carrying it Garrison from 13 yards out. And Stan, that was a 71-yard drive. Is that right? Yep.
Let's see, 33.
71, 30, 29 is where they marked it. No, you're right. It was at the
73-yard drive, 71-yard drive.
71. I thought I was right. Into kick it will be the kicker. And that's going to be Vargo. Snap back, ball down, kick up. It's good. It's a 7-0 ECS lead. 6:50. They took some time off the clock, and they get points. You couldn't ask for a better start if you're an Eagle fan. Back after this on Worthy Road Studios and the BallGame Blitz.
Downtown is thriving, and the Blacksmith Restaurant is leading the pack. From the rustic dining room to the unmatched patio, eating local with family is what we're about. Live local, eat local, relax local.
Dynamics Physical Therapy, your elite provider in sports medicine and performance. Now serving communities throughout West Tennessee.
Back, everybody. Stan Gerard. ECS made it look easy. They lead 7-0.
And set to kick off is going to be Vargo. Well, that's not Vargo out there. They're rotating different kickers. 5 different numbers. We've had about 4 different rosters sent to us this week.
I like this name, Grant Marinchek.
Their new jerseys have been lost.
And over in kick and running under it will be Nick Jones at about the 18. You see him go far side left. Good return. 25 to the 30 and across the 30-yard line. And TCA will have fairly good field position.
And it's going to be TCA 1st and 10. Yeah, it's actually a really good field position for the first drive at the about the 32-yard line, first and 10.
He got all the way up over the 35, but I guess they say he stepped out of bounds across the way. Boy, Coach Williams, look at this. He's got his cheese and crackers and sausage, and Stan won't be worth a lick the rest of the night.
Well,
hamburgers, cheeseburgers. Well, the Lions will have it. And here is Cade Butler, who had a really good game last week. High snap over his head. He runs back and gets it, though, like a receiver. Now he wants to throw. He's going to throw it, and it's going to be incomplete. Tried to hit his receiver up near the 40-yard line, and that went awry as Braden Waller was the intended receiver. But tell you what, Butler kept his poise that time, Stan, and almost made something happen out of nothing.
Well, if you look at the film from last week, a lot of the snaps were either high or they rolled back, and Cade did not let them phase him as he had a statewide best 358 yards passing last week.
Yeah, he and Tompkins were just superstars, I thought, last week. Tight set here with the tight ends. Here's Tompkins with it. Tompkins, boy, as he hit hard at the 30. Good grief, he was nailed at the 30-yard line. And I mean a textbook tackle right around the numbers. And Tompkins, that's the hardest hit he's taken this year thus far.
Loss of 2 on the play will be 3rd and 12 for the Lions. Yep.
Didn't fool them, did it?
No, and I knew they would be a better ball club than what they showed against Innsworth, but they're looking mighty fine early in that 4-man front.
They really are. High snap again, but Butler pulls it down, wants to throw, and he's going to run out of real estate. And he's going to throw it back across the body there, and it's incomplete, and probably a good thing it was. And now a flag comes in late. That could be a late hit. Let's wait and see.
Possibly.
Boy, that would be a deadly blow for ECS there.
Well, he hadn't crossed the line of scrimmage.
No, the white hat now is going to talk it over, or it could be. Well, it wouldn't be an illegal receiver downfield. Could have been a hole. I'm not sure what they're going to call. They look like they're going to mark it off against ECS the way they're talking, yeah.
Well, they're obviously deciding where they're going to go for supper after the ball game.
Well, if it's the latest last week, good luck. Billy Malden's watching tonight. I really enjoyed the Malden's photos when they went out west this summer. They were all over the West. Wow, West. Well, now the official's going to talk over it, and what we have. Intentional grounding?
He threw it right to a receiver.
Well, there was a black shirt in the area, but I'm not sure if it was a receiver.
That's not.
I don't think that's.
Well, if it wasn't a receiver,
okay. I don't think it's a good call, though. I think that would be a no call in my mind. But the officials are Johnny on the spot. Well, it's going to be fourth down, fourth at about 17, and the Lions are going to have to punt it out of there. Now Butler would drop back to punt it. Bargo's standing back near his 40. They could come out of this with good field position. Butler. A kick that will roll inside the 45, and all in all, not bad. To about the 38 it will go. And picked up there by one of the Lions, Caleb Kime, and it's going to be ECS ball. They scored from 71 yards out earlier, and they have it now at their own. See where they mark it, Stan. It's going to be marked at where? At about the
38, early.
38, yep.
Yeah. 32-yard punt by Butler on that play, been averaging 28.7 on the season with 3 punts last week.
If you're watching tonight, just make a comment. We'll get you on the air. We'll make a radio star out of you. 1st and 10, and TV star in this case. 1st and 10 to 38. Thetford back in that gun again. They're in the pistol with the back right end behind him.
Should be man motion.
And he'll hand it to Garrison, and Garrison will scamper his way up near the 40. Not much. Good defense as the Lions shut him off and nowhere to go that time.
He's going to pick up 2 on the play. We don't have a replay available on that one, but if you would have seen the other back there left just a hair early on that.
Harrison Vance and Will Keltner made the stop. 2nd and 8 at the 40. 5:20 in a quickly played first quarter. And ECS scored on the opening possession. They have it again. They give it to Garrison, and that pistol again. He breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle. He breaks another tackle. You see it on your screen, so you know I'm telling you the truth. He's all the way inside the 45-yard line to stand. Love our kids to death, but that's just some poor tackling right there.
About 17-yard gain.
But bring it back. Hold the phone, as the late Bill Haney used to say. A flag back there at about the 40-yard line.
You're going to find that number 20 for ECS had a whole bunch of one of our players' jerseys. He had our jersey holding him from the backside.
Yep. They're going to get that every time, aren't they?
Well, I was beginning to wonder because I didn't see the flag go.
32-yard line. Sets up 2nd down again, but now it's 2nd down and about 17.
I'd like to see us get some pressure off the weak side edge, see what we can do with it.
Great production tonight by Jay Cashin and Mr. Resnick and Mr. Robertson. They're doing a great job. Handoff. And not much. The Lions smell that out pretty good. And he powers his way up to about the 35. That's it. Picks up a few yards. It's going to be 3rd down and about 13 now. Picked up 4.
Pick up a 4 on the play, 39 yards on 6 carries is Mr. Garrison. Having a good, not much better night than he had last week. They only had 35 yards of offense in the entire first half last week, Diamond.
Rook Stevens comes out of the game. In for him will be Jack Dirth, the junior, 6'2", 185, playing that defensive line. Pick up some speed there and lose some size with that interchange. But Big Rooks, he's a big guy, 345. Got to get him out of there and give him a blow from time to time.
Jack Dirth, huh?
I like that name. Sounds like a movie star name. 3rd down and 13. Better than Dave McCulley and Stan Gerard. Here's Thetford in the pocket. Pressured out of the pocket, and he's going to be sacked. Back there is Lakai Tompkins. Flushing him out of there, though, was other players. And then Tompkins got there and finished him off. And the guy that made that play, Stan, was Jack Dirth. He got back there, flushed him out of the pocket, and then Tompkins makes the big stop.
You know, if his last name was Jack Dirth, he'd be the younger brother of Joe Dirt.
It's Dirth.
I know if it was Dirt.
Oh, okay.
The movie,
Dirt.
Joe
Yeah.
Dirt.
Oh, I remember Joe Dirt.
Work with me, Diamond.
Yeah, work with you, yeah. Here's Vargo back to punt it away. So after it looked like they were in good shape to maybe score again.
Our defense stiffens.
The penalty hurt them, and then TCA took advantage with strong defense. Good snap back to Vargo. Plenty of time. Gets it away. High, wobbly kick. Jones will run away from it, and wisely he should. And he goes out of bounds. TCA will have great field position at their own 45-yard line.
Diamond, I don't know if we're going to get a replay on that punt, but if we did, I think we took a harder charge on that punt from the wide angle. We got a chance to block that kick. If you had Lakai, would have took a little bit harder charge than that. It was a very blockable kick.
Watch for that later in the game.
Yeah.
Good point, yeah. 44-yard lines where they mark it.
Remember that onside kick we completed last week?
Yeah.
That was if you see a certain formation by them, kick it.
That was a beautiful play. Well, good field position. 44-yard line. 1st and 10. Lions at their own 44, trailing 7-0. 3:25. Dave McCulley stands yard. Here's a snap and a nice play. Pulling it down was Butler, and he finds his receiver Waller, and Waller has running room up across midfield, and he's into ECS territory. The Lions are for the first time tonight at the 49-yard line. A pickup of about 7 yards.
Yep,
second and a long 3, short 4.
Nice pickup after having 147 yards on 11 catches last week. Off to a good start tonight.
Really is. He really played well last week. Of course, a lot of the Lions did. Offensive line, I thought, really gave TCA a good chance last week. The center hovering over that ball is Nicholas Riddick. Here's a high snap. It's going to go to Tompkins, and Tompkins is spun down in the backfield. Stay on those high snaps, really disrupting the timing of plays. Tompkins, they give him forward motion back to midfield, but now it's 3rd and about 5.
That was a direct snap to
Sure
Lakai
was.
as well.
Saw that last week, didn't we?
Yep.
Nick Jones comes in for Tompkins, the freshman. Stan, what was his numbers last week? They were just...
Oh, he had 146 yards rushing, 111 receiving yards. No telling how many tackles he had.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, we had 5 players with average that had over 8 tackles in the ballgame
3rd
last
and a
week.
short 5. Here's the ball. It's going to be intercepted. Picked off. That's going to be the guy coming in back with it will be number 10. That's
Xander Carroll.
Carroll picked it off at the 45-yard line. His own 45, and returns it 55 yards for an INT, and Butler would have liked to have that one on a yo-yo stand.
Well, he threw that one off his back foot, which is never a good thing. You don't get a lot of zip on the ball, and bad things can happen, and that's the worst possible result right there, a pick 6.
55 yards is what we credit it. That's unofficial, but that's what it looked like appeared. And then to attempt the PAT will be Riley McDaniel. And it's 13-0, 2:03 in the first. Snap back. Here's the kick. And it's good. It's 14-0 ECS. Will step out. This is TCA football on the BallGame Blitz.
Do you want your smile to say it all? At Elite Dental Care, we'll make you and your family feel comfortable and secure with a variety of services and state-of-the-art care. We offer sedation dentistry that will make your time in the dental chair comfortable and relaxed. Come by and see our newly renovated and expanded office in Jackson, or one of our other convenient locations in Trenton or Dyersburg. Trust your smile with Elite Dental Care, and let your smile say it all.
Welcome back to Trinity Christian Academy, 14-0 ECS with the early lead. They just took a pick 6 back, 55 yards for a touchdown. And with 2:03 to go, they lead 14-0 on the Thompson-Smith scoreboard up on Union City with 2:03 to go in the first quarter play. No score between Union City and USJ. Jackson Christian getting underway at the bottom of the hour.
Football coaches, for the most part, through the years, Stan, you and I have been doing this for a long time. I've heard numerous times football coach talk, and they say mood changers. Those pick 6 will kill you.
Worst bit of depression you can get.
Yep, here's the kick. And a short kick, and will be fielded about the 36-yard line.
That's kind of odd
Nick
to
Jones.
me.
Yep, same here.
Because when I happened to see them in their walkthroughs before their game last week, and their kickers were booming the football.
Guy that kicked at that time, Noah Wilder. Boy, they're using a lot of people, aren't they?
But what it shows is they're respecting our return game by doing that.
32-yard line. And there the Lions will have it. Down 14-0. 2:03 left in the first. Next week, Thursday night game down in Somerville. Fed Academy. Stan and I will just give our disclaimer really quick and get out of the way. We'll not be stopping at McDonald's
We're
on the
not
way
waiting
or back.
17 minutes in the drive-through line.
that might be cheating. We waited longer, I think, than that. Boy, there's the jet sweep. It's nothing. Absolutely nothing for Cooper Bales. They'll drop him maybe for about a yard loss.
No, he's going to get about close to a yard.
No, he did get a yard. You're right. Well, second down. Clint Reed said no gain, but it looks like maybe a half a yard. So the ball up to 33. Let's give him a yard. Positive thinking here.
Clint needs glasses just like I do.
Second down. Remember when I used to have to use the binoculars before I had my eye surgery?
Mm-hmm.
If we got past the T there, I couldn't tell what was going on. I disguised it for a year or two. Second down. It was worth at the college level because I'm up higher. Here's the pass, incomplete. Butler threw it behind that time. Braden Waller, incomplete. Third down and 9.
Throwing that inside would have been enough for a first down.
Sure would have been. Might have had a little bit of an edge. So it's third down. The line's a little flat right now after playing so well last week despite the 1-point loss. At one time last week, we were in deep trouble and came right back. Yeah, the drone's back. Getting a good shot of Stan Gerard up here. Wave at him, Stan. I think the drone's listening to us because he
could be
moving all around there. Third down and 9.
It's a moving target for the rifle team.
Low snap this time. Butler's running for his life. Now he's got a square and throw, and it's picked off again.
Oh, my.
Yep, picked off this time. And Butler running for his life. And that picked off by Wilder, picked it off. Well, they got Wilder listed as 45, but I think they've changed him to 9. We're going to do that as well. And he picked it off, and Stan, again, I think the low snaps are just taking TCA out of any kind of offensive rhythm right now.
Well, and they're putting they're putting enough pressure on us that those snaps were. Remember, we were not getting a lot of pressure from the Adamsville front four last week.
You know, that was an outstanding interception too, Stan. He had to reach behind him a little bit with both hands up in midair and pull that down, and he did. I say he, and that being, of course, Noah Wilder. Well, it's 1st and 10. ECS at the TCA 35. They already lead the game 14-0. A minute 12 left in the first. An auspicious start for the Lions tonight in this first quarter. Bedford looks, throws on the fly pattern, got a man wide open, and now we close and almost picked it off. Boy, we got there, it looked like he was wide open, and then we get there, TCA does. Cheers was the intended receiver.
Now look at this play. He's going to come back. It's going to be one of these rainbow passes into the corner. Our defense gets there late. And, boy, we're able to tip it down.
Almost knocked it. Almost picked it off. Yep.
Boy, if he could tip that up, though, that would have gone right into the ECS receiver's hands.
Thetford had a little bit too much air into that, didn't he?
Yeah, we're kind of fortunate on that play, Dave.
Sure were. Second down and 10. Thetford puts a man in motion, brings him this way, and now he hands it off to the running back. Nothing. Absolutely nothing for Cooper Acuff as the Lions dart in there, get underneath the offensive line.
Keltner with a big tackle there.
Keltner's going to have a lot of those kind of plays this year.
Had 12 tackles last week, 4 for loss.
He's an outstanding player and a good athlete in everything he does. So it's going to be 3rd down and 11, a loss of a yard. 40 seconds left in the first.
Remember how he impressed us his freshman year in basketball? Huntington in the opening game, 33 points.
33 points. I'll never forget that.
I saw it laying on my back most of the night. But
3rd and 11.
That was the night of that wild football game in
Peabody.
Yeah, Peabody.
Snap. And this is a call run from the offensive scheme of things by Thetford, and nothing there as he moves to about the 35. Got 2 or 3. It's going to be 4th and about 9. That night, I remember Mr. Dale Kelly sitting down right below us in his familiar chair there as he supported the Huntington Mustangs. The mayor, who passed away last Saturday, went to the visitation Tuesday, then the funeral services Wednesday. That's going to end the first quarter. Your score, ECS 14, your Lions nothing. It'll be 4th and 10 at the 35-yard line of TCA when we come back after this on the BallGame Blitz.
Looking for a new and exciting career? At Jackson State Community College, we offer nationally recognized, top-rated programs designed to greenlight your career for success. With courses available in the health sciences, nursing, computer technology, and much more, your next step towards a career starts here at Jackson State. Learn how Jackson State Community College can greenlight your future at greenlightyourfuture.com.
At Lonnie Cobb Ford, we now give you a warranty for life on the engine and transmission. That's right, a warranty for life at no cost to you. Unlimited time, unlimited mileage, but it's only at Lonnie Cobb Ford in Henderson, where cars really are cheaper in the country.
She's a beauty, isn't she?
My parents said they'd buy me a car for college. This is perfect.
Well, this one isn't for sale, but I can tell you how to win it.
It's time for the 4th annual Lifeline Car Giveaway. And Joe Mahan Ford is proud to donate a car again this year.
Get flood with Lifeline between Memorial Day and Labor Day for a chance to win a 2019 Ford EcoSport. Join Lifeline.
And Joe Mahan Ford and give blood this summer.
It's easy.
And you could save a life.
With Diamond, a rough first quarter for TCA. A long drive results in 7 for the Eagles. A pick 6 puts the second 7 on the board. But outside of that long drive, the TCA defense has played fairly well in this game.
They have. Brad Keltner's watching tonight. And one of my favorite people, a longtime supporter and always watches and listens when she can't be here, Teresa Whitehead, our lovely buddy. Thetford throws, incomplete, had the man wide open. He had over the middle that time Malik Truitt and absolutely missed him, or that might have been another 6.
Yep.
And TCA's defense gets lucky that time. And the Lions will have it. 1st and 10. Sometimes luck's as important as talent. At the 35-yard line, the Lions hold them, and it's 1st and 10 Lions.
Well, you know what they say, Diamond Dave, every once in a while a blind nut finds a squirrel.
Yeah, we were fortunate that time, but, hey, that's part of the game both ways. So it's 1st and 10. First play took 5 seconds of the second stanza. And the Lions will send out the offensive unit. They'll bring out Keltner, that offensive line, along with Vance. Also there is Riddick. And others will try to spot them. Grandma and Granddaddy will get mad at us if we don't mention everybody. 1st and 10. High snap this time over Butler's head, and he falls back on it at the 24-yard line.
Well, another loss in the play, and you can certainly I'm not doing that to suck up to our producer-director, but you can certainly see where they're missing Mr. Cashin back there under center.
Yeah, we mentioned Moore earlier. Of course, Daniel Cashin out. I hope to get him back in a few weeks, Jay. About mid-season. Jay Cashin, our great buddy back here, our producing director. Here's another snap that's high, and they throw it out here. It's going to be caught, but man, oh man, Weiser is decked back. They say incomplete, and probably had a good thing he dropped it, or that would have been another about 10-yard loss.
Not looking good. They have read the book on us so far.
Yeah,
They've defended us really well.
Excuse me, Sam. We're talking about us not playing well. You got to give them a lot of credit. They're Johnny on the spot right now. They're pretty keen right now, aren't they?
They have read the book on us so far. From the Thompson-Smith scoreboard, no score, 10:09 to go in the first half between Union City and USJ. What was USJ, 35 points last year, not on the board yet.
3rd down and 20. Butler looks. Butler throws. Butler incomplete. Good coverage. We had one receiver covered by 3 guys back there. It's going to be 4th and 20, and the Lions will have to punt it. Speaking of Union City, Mike Reisley, longtime announcer, color man for many, many years with the late Jim Cawley, and then an outstanding play-by-play. He and Art Sparks, his color man, Stan, right before the season, they announced that they were retiring, and that's a loss to Union City and their fans. 2 institutions up there, and they worked for many, many years with the late Jim Cawley.
They're still there this year, aren't they?
I think they retired, didn't they?
I saw something. I thought they were, but another station was doing their games again.
No, I think they retired is what I read. And that ball will be down at about the 35-yard line on the punt. He's getting down there, throwing his body on it was Waller.
If I'm going to go do a little, but if that's the case, then we're going to have fun in a couple of weeks.
36-yard line, 1st and 10. You may be right. They may be back one more year, but I know
think
they
they're
did.
back. I think they're back this year.
They announced they were retiring.
And those 2 guys are really good guys too.
Mike, long-time postman there in Union City. 36-yard line, 1st and 10.
They're not real pushy. They don't. It's not all about them. They make it all about the young men, just like a couple of guys I know.
They take you back to the hospitality room, make sure you're taken care of. Thetford hands it off, running back, and that's going to be Garrison again. He's outside 50, 45, 40, 35 on his feet, out of bounds finally inside the 35-yard line, and we've got a line shake it up back here as well. And Stan, he sliced and diced his way through the defense that time. The guy that was shaken up was
it's going to be a pickup
Vance,
of
but he's
30 on the play.
Actually, that's coming off, Stan. That's Lions will bring off. Is that Keltner coming off limping a little bit?
No.
Yeah, it's Keltner right here below us coming off. Yeah.
Oh, he is.
Yeah. He's all right, hopefully. Kevin Hansen making sure he's all right. Keltner says he's okay. First and 10 at the line, 35. Cannot let them score here. This thing could get out of hand. Bedford wants to throw, does throw, low pass. It hits the ground, incomplete. Got a break that time. Cheers went downfield about 10 yards and then sit down. Well, they're going to give him the catch. I thought I heard a whistle that was incomplete.
Well, let's look at here on the replay.
Good play over here, Jay and the gang. No, it's caught.
It's a good catch.
Yeah, it's a good catch. His knee hit the ground is what they said.
Pickup of about 4 by Cheers.
Yeah, a long 4. Second, about 5.5 yards. They cut the lights on here for us. Beautiful
somebody
sunset.
read my mind.
Beautiful sunset, just like last week. It's going to be second and a long 5. Near the 30. Bedford throws it out here in the flat. Quick catch. And then yards. And they break another tackle. And finally it takes 3 lines to get the receiver, that being Cheers, down. And they're in great shape again, down to about the 12 stand, first and 10, Eagles.
17-yard pickup for Cheers. 2 receptions, 21 yards, and they are moving and missed tackles.
Yeah, not trying to pick on our kids, but it's just part of the game, folks. And this team bombed last week by Innsworth, but right now they look like world beaters themselves. Handoff, and going underneath a couple of people is running back. That's going to be Acuff. He's tackled there by Cooper Vales and others. James Dusenberry's tuned in tonight over in South Carolina. And the ball will be inside the 10 down to about, stand about the 7. Pickup of about 5. Second, they can get a first down to the 2 without scoring here. Well, just give it to them, Stan. They're beating us at the point of attack on both ends, aren't
No
they?
question.
Bedford goes up under center, now backs out of there, takes the towel, wipes his hands back there on the backside. Hands it again to the little running back. Acuff again. Acuff inside the 5. Scampers his way and claws his way to about the 4. He's going to be a little short of the first down. 3rd and about 2 for the first down. 3rd and 4 for a touchdown.
And they're not running anything fancy. As we got an injured ECS player on the ground. That would be...
Say a little prayer for the big guy. He's down and can't get up.
Reichmeyer.
Yep. Now let's take a quick break. We'll come back. Say a little prayer for the ECS Eagle. Lions trying to stop them, already down 14-0, 8:51 in the second stanza, and they're knocking on the door again. Stay with us, everybody, on the BallGame Blitz.
King Jewelers is not your typical run-of-the-mill jewelry store. Grover is a certified jeweler with 35 years experience. This isn't just a jewelry store. It's an iconic symbol of love. How far would you go for love? King Jewelers, 16B Conrad Drive, Jackson.
The most important benefit when you buy from Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way? Peace of mind. Jones Chevrolet's warranty forever comes with every qualifying new and pre-owned vehicle. Powertrain coverage for as long as you own your vehicle. Find out more at Jones Chevrolet in Three-Way.
27 years ago, a vision became a reality and Snookum's Steakhouse officially opened. We cut our steaks in-house and our ribeyes are full of flavor. The steak trimmings are used to make our certified Angus beef steak burgers, so when you order at Snookum's, you are getting high quality. Enjoy our salad bar and mini dessert. Also try our famous family recipe, the Pink Lush Fruit Salad. Come visit Snookum's Steakhouse in Henderson, Tennessee. We are open evenings Tuesday through Saturday but closed Sunday and Monday. Snookum's Steakhouse. Come taste the difference.
Well, the good news is Reichheimer, the player for ECS, did walk off the field on his own power. Bad left wheel, don't know if he'll be back. Diamond, some good news for TCA. Colby Moore, no tear of the ligaments.
That's great news.
Might be back later on this season after a little rehab.
That's the best news I've heard today. Vargo, far side left. Receiver here to the near side is Cheers. Bedford in the shotgun with Acuff behind him. Play fakes to Acuff. Rolls, got a man open and it's caught. And they're going to get enough for the first down. I don't know if he'll get in. Now he breaks the tackles and gets in. Folks, again, we don't mean to beat the dead horse, the old saying, but that was going to be a first down, but shouldn't have gotten the end zone, and we just missed flat out a tackle again. And great execution. Rolled it out. They had 2 receivers over there, and Stan, who caught it?
Waiting for it to come up on the replay here, but we met the charge easily, and just did not hang on to the tackle. We did not ride him like a little pony.
4-yard touchdown pass by. They've got another guy in there kicking. They're trying him out tonight. This is Olin Giles.
Well,
he knocks it through, and it's
they used about 4 different ones practicing and before the game.
21-0. Lions in some trouble here. 8:21 in the first half. Stay with us on the BallGame Blitz.
At Arrington Funeral Directors, we accept all prearranged funerals. So you may have prearranged your funeral in this town with another funeral home or even in another state, but we accept all prearranged funerals because we're here to serve families.
Focusing on you, West Tennessee Bank has assembled an all-star staff with decades of experience in the Jackson and West Tennessee markets. Our top priority is listening to your goals and dreams, helping you develop a plan to achieve them. Benefit from our more than 100 years of experience. Visit us at Thompson Farms or give us a call. West Tennessee Bank is a division of Decatur County Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. West Tennessee Bank, focused on you.
Go Lions. Diamond David, stand the man. Let's go Lions and tighten up that defense. James, you're right on the target. We are not playing well right now, folks, on either side of the ball, 21-0. But, hey, that's the bad news. The good news is there's still 8:21. A score, you get back in the game, I think. Here's the kick.
Oh, offsides.
And it's going to be gathered in on the second hop. That's Waller with it. Waller tackle back there, and their special teams a great job. Guy didn't make the tackle, but he impeded the progress.
Is there any way we can see that kickoff again?
And that's going to be Wilder who made the play. Noah Wilder. They got a Noah Wilder, a Nate Wilder. It's the Wilder and Wilder show. So the ball at the 25-yard line, 1st and 10. Lions that really haven't generated much offense tonight at all. And Butler will come out. He'll have Tompkins back there with him.
ECS running a 3-4, 4-3. And, you know, some decent size. They're not monsters there on the defensive line, but they are still big boys.
Yeah, Gabe Moss, big nose tackle, takes up some space. Here's Tompkins, best play tonight, and he fumbled.
Got it back.
He got up to the 35-yard line, fumble, but we get it back. And Tompkins upset with himself. He was hit pretty hard, and the guy that saved the day for TCA, I think that was
Tompkins got it back himself.
Did he? No, Tompkins was back here. That's Vance that recovered it. Tompkins was over here at the 40-yard line. So he gets a break. Man, we needed one. But he picks up 9, 2nd and 1. Tompkins to the left of Butler. Tompkins was blasted. And Vance saved the day. Hand off Tompkins. Tompkins has the first down as he's able to fall his way across the 35 and up to about the 37. Nice play by Tompkins. Kept his feet churning. And it's 1st and 10. Sort of a mock cheer from the crowd a little bit.
That's our initial first down of the ball game, Diamond Dave.
That's why the folks were cheering a little bit there. We hadn't had much to cheer about, have we, Stan?
Nope.
So it's going to be 1st and 10, Lions.
I like that play where it's a direct snap to Tompkins, though.
Yeah. Here's Butler, back of that gun. Ball was deflected, and he comes up with it somehow. And Will Weiser from Butler. That's going to be a 63-yard pass play. And the Lions, Weiser stuck with it. And at the 6:59 mark, we mentioned a touchdown gets you right back in it. And let's see what kind of momentum that gives the Lions, 21-6.
Oh, would love to see that one on the replay. Here we go after the catch. Off to the races, 10-5. Give that
almost
young man
stepped out
6.
of bounds, but we'll give him 6. That's absolutely right. Pierce Holsinger in to kick the PAT.
This is just a little chip shot for one of our finer golfers. Golfers won a big match yesterday.
Lions having to get Joshua Vincent. Boy, they're off to the great start. Volleyball is off to the great start.
Girls golf off to a great start.
A delay of game.
Yep.
TCA didn't get the personnel out there. Illegal substitution or delay of game. Take your pick. Yep, delay of game. Or illegal substitution. Tompkins is going to come out now. Did we have 12 men out there? I think that's what happened.
2, 5, 6,
Blake
7,
Butler,
8,
despite
9,
the
10.
touchdown.
Yeah, we had 12 on the field.
He's got his hands on his hips. He's not real happy that time.
If we're going to have 12 men on the field, let's at least do it on an offensive play.
Yeah. Maybe sneak that through. 21-6, 6:59 left here, and the Lions bite back in it. James Dusenberry. Laura Young-Kraft is watching. And the
no good.
6:59. But the Lions are in the end zone. We're back after this with 6:59 in the second on the BallGame Blitz.
Waterwell Solutions offers experienced water well drilling and service throughout the greater West Tennessee area. Whether you need a 4-inch residential well or a 16-inch irrigation or municipal well, they have you covered. Waterwell Solutions has locations in Summerville and Brownsville with a fleet of service trucks and well service technicians that are ready to cover your service needs. If you need residential well service or a new water well, give them a call at 731-779-1275.
Waterwell Solutions bringing you that touchdown for TCA, 21-6.
See a shot of the crowd there, Stan.
Yep.
Something to cheer about there. Way to go.
6:59 to go in our first half of action.
Pam McLeod is watching. I think that's the lovely Mrs. Butler's mother. Now we're back. Pam McLeod is watching. And they had a birthday in the Butler household this week.
Well, they had a new, Allison had a birthday yesterday.
Sure did.
Had a new grandson out on the East Coast a week or so ago.
Mm-hmm.
Blake's an uncle again. Uncle Blakey.
Uncle Blakey. All right. 21-6, 6:59 left here. James said great catch. Laura Sands Franklin said she enjoyed it. So here we go. Holsinger to kick it away. 21-6. Nice kick.
Way
and
back.
Driving Thetford back. He's going to bring it out of there, but he can't. Well, that's a great kick. Stan, that's a great weapon. Remember, we've had some great kickers able to do that through the years, and that negates any kind of chance for them to have great field position.
That is the third touchback for Mr. Holsinger this year.
His brother was a good one.
Mm-hmm. His senior year at Harding this year.
More time gets away from us, doesn't it? I remember back when we first started doing these games at the old gym in basketball. At the old
Did you ever
school.
do a game at the old football field?
I did not. I heard the press box was.
It made Lambeth look like an NFL stadium press box.
Well, I love Lambeth. I still miss Lambeth, but I remember I used to always want to call it the deer stand one time before I left, but I wanted to keep my job. But then we started not getting paid, so I had to go somewhere else. Here is the pass out to Garrison. Garrison slices his way up near the chain over there. Stan, their execution, they being ACS, has just really been sharp tonight, hasn't it?
Yeah, Garrison going to pick up about
8, 9.
9 on the play.
Second a yard. 6:40 the clock running. Halftime. Stan will have scores for you from around the area. Thompson and Smith Insurance scoreboard. We'll have a recap of the scoring and give you our thoughts about what the Lions have to do to stay in the thing and maybe pull it out in the second half. Had a great comeback last week. Garrison, not much, but he dances his way and sort of jukes his way for the first down across the 35. Stan, he runs with good power, but boy, he's really nifty. You heard Blake use that very term with him in the pregame in your interview, which was an outstanding interview, I thought, by you and he both. But he used the word nifty, and that's exactly what you just saw.
Now, you saw Lakai Tompkins on the outside of the play. He came across, read his man. Once it went into the line of scrimmage, went laterally and was able to make the tackle on the play.
Remember, he's just a young pup, too. He's still learning.
He read his job perfectly.
1st and 10, Thetford out here in the flat, caught by Jamison Smith. Smith able to move his way across midfield. He's at the 45. He needs a block to go all the way. He gets it, and he's going to go all the way. That will be, ladies and gentlemen, a 62-yard touchdown, Thetford to Jamison Smith.
Wow.
Boy, talking about nifty. He was nifty, wasn't he?
Tell you what, last week saw multiple ECS quarterbacks throw multiple interceptions. This year they look like the second coming of Brett Favre.
They really do. Now, let's see what they're going to use this time. Stan Gerard's out there attempting the PAT. We're about the only guy in the house that hadn't yet. And that's number 37 again. And that's going to be good by Olin Giles. 28-6 ECS. 5:37 left in the first half. Lions have to score again. Back up to this, folks, on the BallGame Blitz.
Hey, this is Chuck Walker with Southeastern Termite and Pest Control. If you live in West Tennessee, you have a need for the services we offer. We treat for all types of pests, including bed bugs, round recluse spiders, and other hard-to-treat pests. You don't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to encapsulate a crawl space. Give us a call to hear how to achieve the same thing and save thousands. Southeastern Termite and Pest Control can handle all of your termite and pest control needs, wood fungus and moisture barriers, real estate closing letters, and so much more. Southeastern, 731-660-1052.
Well, there's a shot of the TCA
student body
here. 5:37 to go, 28-6.
It's USA night tonight. You notice last week they had all the colorful uniforms. Tonight it's the flags and so forth.
I didn't, you're right. I didn't even.
It's a theme every week.
On the Thompson-Smith scoreboard, 3:41 to go in the first half. Still no score between USJ and Union City. Boy, they still run that double tight wing, too.
They do. They made
the veer.
All the way back to some of the great coaches, Coach Shanks in the gang up there. This ball is kicked and dropped. And now up to about the 30. Bringing it back will be Waller. 1st and 10, Lions at the 30, just across their own 30-yard line. And Stan need a score to stay in this thing. 28-6, 5.5 left in the first half.
And no question about it, TCA just not.
How many first downs? One tonight?
One is all we've managed to come up with on the night.
1st and 10 at the 30. Line offensive unit scurries out there. Cooper Vales here to the near side. Or actually in the slot. Now Tompkins back there with Butler. And 10 receivers each way. 1st and 10. Hand off Tompkins. They smell him out. And a great textbook tackle around the right leg that time with a great penetrating move. This kid can play Thetford.
Now look at this
and
here.
Make it Carroll, too. Made a great play. Watch his tackle, Stan.
Does a good job reading it, trying to get to the outside. Form tackle, shoulder on the hip, and he grabs a hold, wraps up, and hangs on for dear life. A loss of a half a yard on play. Textbook form tackling by Evangelical Christian.
Becky Hooper-Watson's tuned in. Gail is back with us. 28-6. Today, National Dog Day, Pup Day, and I saw where Ralphie was celebrating a birthday. And here's another, actually, high snap, but Butler pulls it down, throws, and makes something happen. Waller caught it, and he's hit hard. But he holds on. Great play, Mr. Waller. And Butler made something happen that time. And it's going to be 3rd down and 3. Got to be concerned right now about the rhythm of the offense. 3rd and 3. Well, a chance to keep the drive alive.
Got in that gap there and now was able to make something happen.
I think they're going to call a timeout. ECS calls a timeout.
Yep.
We'll take one with them. 4:24 in the first half. 28-6 ECS. Lions, though, a chance to maybe convert here on the first down, something they need desperately, and not let them have the ball back here on the BallGame Blitz.
Tired of being seen and not heard? At Lifestyle Vision, we believe in patient-centered quality eye care for West Tennessee, which is why we are locally owned and operated. Come see us Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, or schedule an appointment anytime online. Lifestyle Vision, where compassion meets commitment.
Hello, I'm Chad P. Wilson with Foundation Bank, a family-owned community bank here in West Tennessee. You know, home buying can be a long and confusing process, especially in today's market. Well, our Home Sweet Home Loan program offers incredibly competitive rates and allows you to keep your loan local throughout the entire life of the loan. So start your financial conversation with us today by visiting foundationbank.org or calling us on the number on the screen. In the meantime, go Lions! Kinsey Banking Company and Foundation Bank are an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
On the Thompson-Smith scoreboard, just over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house will go. No score between St. George's and Jackson Christian in the first quarter of play late.
Pam McLeod said her grandson made a great pass. Yes, he did, Pam. Here's Butler over the middle and incomplete. He intended that to Waller, who broke to the outside. The ball came back inside the hash. Trying to get the INT that time was Smith. They already have 2 tonight, one with a pick 6. The Lions will have to punt it away with 4:18 and stand. The bad news here is you got 4th and about 4. You got to punt the ball, I would think. And you're going to have them to maybe have a chance to get their hands back on it and another score, which would be devastating.
Thompson-Smith says St. George's just scored with 41 seconds to go in the half over Jackson Christian. It's hard to see the scoreboard. in that
4th
situation.
And 3. Butler.
Low snap.
Low snap, but pulls it down. And a short floater. TCA needs a bounce, and they get it. Inside the 40, inside the 35, rolling dead at about the 33-34, picked up there by Waller. And with 4:08, ECS already leading 28-6, need a turnover and need a stop. Would love a turnover here. 1st and 10. Lions of Trinity Christian.
Yep, with just as we gave the 0-0 score, they scored the next play to lead 7-0. St. George's with the lead, under a minute to go in the first half of that contest.
34-yard line, 4:08 left. Thetford in that gun again. Doubles here to the near side. Drops, looks, running out of the pocket. Now he's going to have a little bit of running room. 35 to the 40, to the 45-yard line. That's going to be an illegal block in the back. Tompkins was really hit hard from the backside. I think the guilty culprit's going to be coming back. Cheers, yep.
Should have had the quarterback early.
Watch him get hit right in the back here, yep. Cheers, yep. That's an easy call by the officials there. They've done a good job tonight. That's why we're playing some games on Thursday for the shortage of officials.
West Carroll leads in their ball game 14-0. If you're gonna put a score, put the names of both teams on the note.
29-yard line, 1st and 10.
And that's a newspaper that did not do that.
3:57 left.
Mackenzie Manor.
1st and 15. Thetford back there with 3:57 in the half. Wanting more, his team already leading by 22. Oh, my goodness. We missed another tackle or two, and Garrison's a real deal. Tompkins tries to bring him down and finally knocks him out of bounds at about the 29-yard line. Garrison has got tremendous cutting ability, making people miss. And you'll see it on the replay here, Stan, and he's inside TCA territory to the 29-yard line.
He's got 101 yards on 8 carries. Diamond, his last two rushes have combined for 65 yards.
Yeah, that was an outstanding play there by Garrison.
On the Thompson-Smith scoreboard, Covington all over Northside, 27-0 in that ball game.
Clock arrested at 3:47.
Gleason just got on the board against West Carroll. Now West Carroll 14-8.
Look at the shot here. Look at the sun, the clouds behind the goal. Thetford throws it down here, and it's going to be pass interference. Yep, that's an easy call. Cheers was the intended receiver, and probably not a bad defensive play there by the Lions, and the fact that he's probably going to score 6 unless we do commit pass interference, Stan, to be honest with you. Would you agree?
I would agree. I mean,
yeah, it was
there was some push. Yeah, you could, my heart says both of them were chicken fighting a little bit. Fayette Academy leading Halls 12-0. Will be at Fayette Academy next Thursday night. Fayette Academy undefeated on the season, 1-0, leading Halls 12-0.
So it's going to be 1st and 10, and the ball will be marked inside the 20 at about the 14-yard line. 3:41 left here, and the Lions already down 28-6 in what has been a dominating first half by the Eagles of Evangelical Christian School. Thetford's been superb. He's in that gun with a back to his left. Rose left. Wants to throw. Tackle back there. Yes. First guy there was Keltner. He didn't get him, but then others did, and the others in the presence of one Lakai Tompkins, and also back there too was looked like Marshall Ray.
Well, you took Lakai Tompkins. He was double teamed, fall off both defenders, and came in there to finish it all with Marshall Ray just in case he slipped through Tompkins' fingers.
Keltner made the play, though, and set it up for those younger guys. We approach the 3-minute mark, 28-6. That's a big defensive play by the Lions. Or if they could come back in this thing, you might look back at that play and say that was one of the biggest of the night. Thetford, though, back there on the long yardage. Throws, incomplete. And almost picked off. Went through the hands of Harwell, but that was because it was deflected. Almost picked it off. He's able to come up with it. The little guy might scamper for about 80 yards.
Diamond on the Thompson-Smith scoreboard. McKenzie leads Chester County, 6.5 to go in the first half, 21-7.
Longtime friend and great friend of mine. Always would reach out to me when Tennessee beat Kentucky in any sport. Jerry Davis watching tonight. Jerry and I are getting older. Jerry's got grandkids out here. 28-6. 2:51, clock stopped on the 3rd down and 20.
Look at that purple ribbon in the sky.
Absolutely gorgeous. Need my phone where I could take a picture of that. Snap. Thetford. Pocket. Good pocket presence. He rolls this way. Running out of room, and Tompkins is going to ride him out of bounds like a cowboy riding a bull out of there. And it's going to be a great play by Tompkins, and that's a great secondary coverage by the Lions, not allowing the pass to be thrust downfield.
And then here comes Tompkins, grabs him in the bulldog headlock, and rides him like My Little Pony out of bounds.
Yeah, sure did. About the 29. Then they have to get inside the 5 to about the 4, so it's 4th and about 24, 25 yards. And they'll go for it here, obviously. Too long for a field goal attempt.
Tompkins Smith scoreboard, Haywood County leading their ball game 30-0 over a team out of Memphis, and a timeout on the field. We're going to take one with them. 2:40 to go in the half, 28-6. Evangelical Christian, you're watching TCA football on the BallGame Blitz on the TCA Broadcast Network.
Hello, I'm Chad P. Wilson with Foundation Bank, a family-owned community bank here in West Tennessee. You know, home buying can be a long and confusing process, especially in today's market. Well, our Home Sweet Home Loan program offers incredibly competitive rates and allows you to keep your loan local throughout the entire life of the loan. So start your financial conversation with us today by visiting foundationbank.org or calling us on the number on the screen. In the meantime, go Lions! McKenzie Banking Company and Foundation Bank are an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Well, on the Thompson-Smith scoreboard at the end of the first quarter, and this is official, Liberty leads Bolivar 7-6 at the end of 1.
Sabrina Davis is watching tonight. She says, way to go, Lakai Thompson. What great defense. Yeah, that's a nice score there for the Crusaders. Once dominating and now really struggling to rebuild the program.
They played out cool for a state championship a few years ago.
Sure did. 28-6. They were good in every sport.
And gave them a good run for their money, too, as I recall.
Doubles each way. Thetford in the pocket, running out of there. It's going to be breaking a tackle, breaks another tackle, but he gets down to 20, and there he'll be stopped there. And it's going to be just enough defense that time for the Lions. Good job as they stop him. And it's going to be 4th and long yardage, and they'll turn it over to TCA. So stand the ball at the 21-yard line, 1st and 10 Lions. How about another big play what we had a moment ago?
I'll tell you what, Waller downfield is a good option. You know, that last time we threw down the left sideline, Tompkins out of the backfield on the left side was wide open.
Yeah, their coverage defensively, laterally, has really been good, but there's been a couple of times where maybe a tackle, elude one tackle, and you might get big yardage. Triples far side right. Butler back. Butler throws over the middle. Caught at the 35-yard line. A nice slant-in pattern. Catching it is one double W, Will Weiser.
Weiser, what's going to pick about 15 on the play?
His brother, one of your great favorites of all time.
He was my bud.
Sure was. 31-yard line. 2:20 left here.
Weiser, 2 receptions, 78 yards. And Diamond at the field looks a little bit brighter. We got some new light bulbs in.
Yeah, nice pattern. And now underneath, little bubble screen. Caught this time. And pretty good defense as ball caught by Waller.
It's going to pick up about 7, though.
Picks up 7. Second down, and let's give him 6. Second and a long 4. Under 2 minutes, 1:59. They go to the quick offense here, trying to get a late score to stay in this game. TCA down 28-6. 1:51 the clock running. Butler wants to throw. Throws out here to Tompkins. Nice catch on a low pass. Breaks a tackle. Moves his way for the first down up to about the 47. Very close. I think he has it by about a yard.
He does have the first down, 5 yards on the
Coach
reception.
Butler calls a timeout, Stan.
Timeout by Blake Butler. $1:40 to go. 28-6. Evangelical Christian. We're back after this on the TCA Broadcast Network.
At McCoy's Heating and Air, we realize there are more than enough things to worry about on a day-to-day basis. With our new 10-year all-inclusive package, your home comfort doesn't have to be one of them. For one low monthly payment, you can purchase a brand new York unit with full maintenance and repair coverage for 10 years with approved credit. No hassle, no stress, just complete coverage for your comfort and convenience. Contact McCoy's Heating and Air at 731-668-7492 or visit airmccoy.com to schedule your free new AC estimate today.
$1.40 to go in our first half of action, 28-6. And it is Evangelical Christian with the lead. TCA with the ball and driving. A nice passing mix to get the ball just shy of midfield. And Diamond, the more we're able to complete yards in the passing game, will eventually open up the running game as well.
Ball at the 47-yard line, 1st and 10. So the weird-looking snap, but it's caught by Cooper Vales on a nice pass by Butler again. Cade really developing into a really nice, really developing into a nice little quarterback back there. And he threw a floater, but it's caught, and the ball down to the 42-yard line. Our cameras tonight, Trace Robinson, who's a great basketball player and great golfer here, and Grayson Resnick. And our producer director one tonight is Jay Cashin. Our executive producer and director is one Paul Schultze. Ball at the 47-yard line, 1st and 10. Lions want to throw a slingshot kind of pass, intended to Vales here at about the 40, but incomplete.
Probably a good thing that it was incomplete because he would have had the boom lowered on him had he caught that.
Yeah, they really hit TCA hard a few times tonight. TCA's had their share of them too, but I think they have a bit of an advantage there. 1:27 left here in this first half. Stan will have the Thompson & Smith Insurance scoreboard for you at halftime. You'll hear those commercial commitments from all of our great sponsors who make it possible. Matthew Coble is watching tonight. Hey, Matt.
He can't have the night off.
Butler dropping, throwing, incomplete. Two guys rushing him back there, and boy, they had some pressure on him. And I'm bringing the heat was Kimball Kumter. That's a nice football name. Kumtor.
Diamond teaching tool for you young quarterbacks out there. If you're feeling the heat and you got to unload the ball.
Throw it out of bounds.
Threw it off the back foot right into the middle of coverage.
Yeah, fortunate that wasn't picked off.
Yeah.
Minute 22.
Well, you got to get a little more zip on it somehow.
3rd down and 10 from the 42-yard line of ECS. Butler rose here, squares, throws, incomplete. And had to throw that away. They had enough pressure on him and great coverage. Stan, you look down to one receiver, he's got 4 guys back there around him.
Yeah, they know who we're going to throw to.
Holding on TCA on top of all of that. They may take that hole stand and push TCA back because it would be 3rd down still, but it would be 3rd at a long yardage. Let's see, they may refuse it just to keep some time on the clock. So that's the smart thing to do, and they do that. So it's 4th down now and 10 from the 42-yard line. Yeah, that's what they're going to do because they let some time run off the clock, and they don't want that. They want to get it back with about a minute left here.
Now, I know we've got a fake somewhere in there with this type of formation. If you're going to run a fake, this would be a good time to do it.
I agree with you. Nick Jones comes in the game for the Lions. Also scurrying in there is Keith. Here's the punt. And ECS doesn't have anyone back there with it. Let it roll for guys, and let some time run off. And the ball will be down at about the 10-yard line, which is a minute 4, minute 3. We might have got 2 seconds on that clock, but we won't say anything. So the ball's at the 5, right, Stan?
Yep, better kick than we thought. The good thing about those kicks by Butler, they're not Ray Guy boomers, but we're not seeing big returns either.
Ray Guy from the Oakland Raiders. Stan, where'd he go to college?
Was it Auburn or Alabama?
Southern Mississippi.
I was in the right state.
Yeah, you were. Not too far away. 5-yard line, 1st and 10. Be interesting to see what they call. I would think they would just hand the ball to Garrett. It just takes time off the clock.
You know, he handled the kickoff duties as well when George Blanda was the extra point kicker.
George Blanda. Boy, what a legend he was. They give it to Garrison like we thought they would, and he breaks a couple of tackles, breaks another tackle. We ride him up to about the 20-yard line, and with 57 seconds left, they'll stop the clock to move the chains and stand. Nothing fancy about that. Just no trap play, it looked like, and he gets about 15 yards to the 20.
Well, their interior players are just, they're winning the battle at the point of attack, and their two guards in the center are just dominating right now.
I think they'll give it to him again. Bedford hands it to Garrison again. Yep, there he is, to the 25, to the 30, to the 32.
See what he's doing? He's taking the play on a draw.
Another first down.
Gets almost to the line of scrimmage and then goes laterally to make a cut up the field.
1st and 10, and now they spike it. And they'll try a couple long passes, I would think. So, that call from the bench over there, Matthew Coble says, hey, Stan and Dave, the night off is in St. Louis on a little mini anniversary trip. Well, happy anniversary. How does she put up with him, Stan?
She must be a saint.
I'm not sure who the Cardinals are playing. Hey, my Yankees won again, 3 in a row now. We're back on the winning side of it.
I know the Cubs beat the Cardinals a couple nights ago. I heard nothing out of John Brailsford that night.
Here is 27
Go Cubs
seconds.
go.
Yeah. Bedford throws it incomplete. Probably should have been caught. Would have been a nice catch by Jamison Smith. He'd have been at midfield. Stops the clock with 20 seconds left.
13 cheers was wide open.
He really was. Threw it behind him and high. Well, 2nd down and 10 at the 32. Stan, they didn't go for the long bomb. They just tried to get about a 20-yarder. Then they try to get another 20-yarder and get in field goal position. They have Acuff back in there at the running back. We'll make it, yep, that is Cooper Acuff. I like that name.
They'd still need a good 4 yards to get in field goal position, I would think.
We got a Cooper Vales. Oh, that's right. They're playing the Braves tonight. That's a nationally televised game. Thanks, Matt. I've been to a couple of those Braves-Cardinals games back when Murphy and Horner in the game played. Cardinals have had a great year. Bedford throws it out there, caught by Smith, breaks a tackle, 40, 45, trying to get out of bounds. He does not. He's at the 45-yard line. Why not?
Oh,
He's
reverse
at 50,
field.
45.
My.
And at the 40, down with 7 seconds at the 40-yard line. What a spectacular run after the catch by one Jamison Smith, and ECS calls a timeout with 40 seconds left in the half, leading 28-6.
28 yards on the reception.
And about 21 of it, or 22 of it, was after the catch, wasn't it?
Yep. I have him with 90 yards in receptions on the night.
Now, I forget, is Matt a Cardinal fan or is he a Braves fan? Do you remember? That's a big crowd, I bet, for that thing tonight.
I really would not know.
I wanted to get up and see the Yankees in St. Louis, but due to business, I could not. Sort of glad I didn't go now. Murphy and Horner, and similar to Riley and Goldsmith. You're right, Matt.
I saw some pictures of you back in the day.
How about those plaid pants I had with Dale Murphy?
You read my mind. Please, Diamond, I don't want to bring up bad things you like, but please tell me those pants were lost in the fire.
They were.
Thank you.
That and my golf clubs.
I want nothing bad, but those pants needed to go.
I'll never forget when the house burned, we went back in to see what we could salvage, and my 6-iron was in there, my favorite golf club of all time. And my son, Jeremy, said, look, Mr. Steve Haven, that's his 6-iron. He said, yep, it's doing about as good now as it did then. Here's a long pass downfield, and that ball caught. That ball was caught at the 1-yard line.
Oh, good gravy.
It was caught. What a catch, but he's 1 yard short of the touchdown. It's caught down there, stand by
39.
Deuce Shannon. And that ends the first half, and boy, 1 more yard, and they just scored again. We're at halftime.
Of course, you know who his uncle was. Del Shannon. He was a runaway.
That's exactly right. He almost ran that away. Said they're going to the game tomorrow. He's a Braves fan, Matt said. Well, right now, ECS has their fans happy. There's Tracer down there looking good. Speaking of golf clubs, he knows how to hit those 6-irons. 28-6, we're at halftime. ECS has pretty well dominated this first half. We'll be taking a break, and we'll be back. Stan will have the Thompson-Smith Insurance scoreboard show for you. We'll have stats analysis and a scoring recap when we come back. This is TCA Football on the BallGame Blitz.
We realize you have a busy lifestyle, and at the Bank of Jackson, we're here to help you fulfill all of your financial needs, personal and business loans, mortgages, online banking and bill pay, and so much more. serving the Jackson area for 25 years. The Bank of Jackson, your down-home community bank. You belong here. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Football looks fun. I bet I would have been great at it. The first football playing Deer, they would have made a movie about me and everything. Probably get Kurt Russell to play me. But alas, me and my dreams run right over again.
For fast, reliable collision repair, trust the experts at Mitchell's Body Shop. And get back out there.
This is how we Friday night. How do you Friday night?
This is how we Friday night.
This is how we Friday night.
This is how we Friday night.
No matter how you Friday night,
you always win at Kaufman.
If you work outside or in a facility with no AC, or you're just struggling with this year's heat wave, it can really take a toll on your body and health. At Live Hydration Drip Spa, we can help you recover with our Beat the Heat special for only $59. Call or visit us online today to set your appointment.
At Nest Realty Jackson, connections and relationships are at the heart of everything we do. We wake up every day with the goal of helping our agents build trust, relationships, and community. Let's connect.
Thompson & Smith, the area's premier independent insurance brokerage, has been serving families and businesses in the region through its founding companies since 1927. With their many insurance company partners, Thompson & Smith provides insurance products for family, home and auto, contractors, retailers, restaurants, manufacturers, medical and dental clinics, as well as any other business or organization seeking quality coverage, risk management expertise, and customer-focused service. Call them today to discuss your insurance needs.
The name you can count on. Carlock Automotive, Van Drive, Jackson.
Buying a car is all about you. In person, over the phone, or online, we make it simple and easy. Our place or yours, no matter where you live. LonnieCobbFord.com or Lonnie Cobb Ford in Henderson, where cars really are cheaper in the country.
We offer live webcasting for families. It kind of came out of when so many warriors were going overseas to war. We have learned to offer families more choices, that we want to serve our families well and serve our families better.
For the past 22 years, Tennessee Tractor has been committed to you, our customers. That's why our locally owned business delivers great John Deere products with great service at a great price. From the backyard to the back 40, whatever size project your family's got, you can rely on us to help you get it done. From our friendly staff to our reliable equipment and our quality service, Tennessee Tractor has one goal: to keep you and your family up and running. Hometown value, hometown service. That's Tennessee Tractor.
Lifestyle Vision, located at Thompson Farms, offers patient-centered, comprehensive eye exams. Select your new look with our latest styles from exclusive brands. Come see us Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, or schedule an appointment anytime online. Lifestyle Vision, where compassion meets commitment.
Championship DNA. That's what you find at Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way. A full line of new Chevrolets plus West Tennessee's largest used car inventory. State-of-the-art service work and pre-approved auto loans online at JonesChevroletHumboldt.com. Shop with a winner. Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way.
And welcome back to Trinity Christian Academy. We're at the half. It's been pretty much all Evangelical Christians. They lead TCA by a score of 28-6. We're going to take a look at the scoreboard from in and around West Tennessee here on the Thompson and Smith Insurance scoreboard. Is Huntington leading Southside 13-0. End of the first quarter, Liberty was leading Bolivar 7-6. Dresden all over Greenfield 27-0 in the first quarter. Haywood County is leading their ball game 37-zip. Milan over Manassas, who actually showed up for tonight's ball game, 25-0. McKenzie over Chester County, 28-7. Fayette Academy 12, Halls 0. will be at Fayette Academy next Thursday night for high school football. West Carroll leads Gleason 14-8. Covington all over north side 27-0. Jackson Christian and St. George's tied at 7 in a game that you can see on the BallGame Blitz network. USJ and Union City tied at 0 at the half. A slugfest there, defensive slugfest. South Gibson leads Westwood 34-0, and Peabody over Westview 12-7. We'll go ahead and try and see if we can find some more scores here. Some things that may have updated. Melrose over Mitchell 25-0. And it's now 28-7 McKenzie over Chester at the half. At the half, Peabody now leading 19-7 over Westview in that particular ball game. And other scores from in and around West Tennessee. Milan now with a 40-0 lead over Manassas in the second quarter of that ball game. That game will be a running clock in the second half. No mas on that one. And we will call that a look through the scoreboard on the west end of the state. When we come back, we'll talk, give you a few stats, and maybe look at some scores from the middle part of the state. You're watching TCA football on the BallGame Blitz. We're back after this.
Football is here. Get touchdown savings at McCoy's Heating and Air. Cooler weather is coming. Tackle the season ahead with McCoy's and be comfortable this season. To get your furnace ready, we are now offering one-time cleaning for only $90. Score big. Call McCoy's and schedule your $90 cleaning today. Call 731-668-7492 or visit airmccoy.com. McCoy's Heating and Air, Jackson's most trusted team of technicians.
At Alive Hydration Drip Spa, we offer top-of-the-line IV nutritional therapy, which has a wide variety of health benefits. From immune system boosters and skin care, fatigue, energy, and even hangover relief, you can be sure we have an IV blend that's right for you. All of our blends are administered by one of our experienced nurses in a spa setting to ensure you leave feeling re-energized and refreshed. Give us a call or visit our website to book your appointment today. We have what it takes to make you feel alive again at Alive Hydration Drip Spa.
Serving the Jackson area for over 20 years. Carlock Nissan and Carlock Prestige, the name you can count on. Carlock Automotive, Van Drive, Jackson.
For anyone contemplating pre-planning, we can tell you from our experience, it's much easier to make funeral plans and record them now than wait until emotions are running at their highest.
With pre-planning, you can free your mind and heart from having to make big decisions during a time of grief and instead enjoy the freedom to focus on the memories of a life well lived.
Buying a home is a major milestone, and at the Bank of Jackson, we want to help you achieve it. Our mortgage specialists can assist you with conventional, VA, FHA, or construction loans, as well as USDA and THDA development loans. Serving the Jackson area for 25 years. The Bank of Jackson, your down-home community bank. You belong here. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back, everybody. Some nice comments from a lot of folks downstairs when we were down there during the break. Had a chance to get a big hug from Savannah Lee in the gang. They dropped off Macy. Mom did today and said she had some tears when she did that. But we want to say hello to some other folks watching tonight. We mentioned a lot of the folks that have been tuned in and letting us know they're watching. But Chip Thomas, our good buddy, is watching. Jeff Weiser. Jeff says, Weiser. Let's go. Blake Butler's watching tonight. Jeff Sisk, I'm not sure. I think someone is stolen Blake's phone. They're watching. But Jeff Sisk is watching tonight, our good buddy.
That's Allison, though.
Yeah, I bet might be. But our lovely buddy Allison just had a birthday the other day. Not sure how old Allison is. You never ask.
25.
25. Yeah, I was going to say she looks like she's about 18, Mom. But big hello to all those folks watching and listening. And we are glad you're with us tonight as well. Tonight's broadcast being produced and directed by Jay Cashin. We have Trace Robinson and Grayson Resnick on the cameras tonight. And our executive producer, and director of our broadcast each week, where we'll be next week in Somerville, is one Paul Schulte of Worthy Road Studios. But we're back with you. Let's give that scoring recap as Stan gathers some scores. He'll have the Thompson-Smith scores for you in just a matter of moments. 13-yard pass play, or run, I should say, by Garrison at the 6:50 mark of the first quarter. PAT by Vargo, and ECS led the game 7-0. A few minutes later, as Stan's dropping things out of the press box, 2:03 left in the first quarter. Carroll intercepted a Butler pass, returned it 55 yards. PAT by McDaniel this time. They spread that around quite a bit. 14-0 ECS at the end of one. A 4-yard touchdown pass from Thetford to, we're not sure who caught the ball. I apologize for that. Giles this time to PAT made it 21-0 ECS at the 8:28 mark of the second stanza. And then Weiser, a spectacular catch on a deflected pass play as TCA got on the board. Long pass play at 6:59 of the second stanza made it 21-6. PAT was no good. And at the 5:37 mark, a 62-yard pass from Thetford to Smith. Smith got about 60 of it on his own, or maybe 55 of it on his own, as he was able to slice and dice his way for big yardage. PAT this time was good, and it made it 28-6, and that's how we stand here at halftime. Stan, you have some scores on the Thompson-Smith Insurance scoreboard.
Well, before we do that, Diamond Dave, we must remind everybody that any broadcast, retransmission, editing, or further use of this BallGame Blitz TV show without the expressed written consent of Worthy Road Studios is hereby and strictly prohibited. You can think about it, but don't you do it.
Don't do it. You'll get in trouble, and Paul Schulte will come after you.
That's better than having the rifle team come after you.
Absolutely. Yeah, that rifle team, I'm telling you.
I still got to get one of their uniforms, though.
Spectacular. I'm looking for my TCA rifle team shirt.
Oh, man, they're spectacular. They're not like these golf shirts. They're spectacular.
Yeah, I bet.
They look like a bowling shirt or something.
We know the coach. I mean, you would think the coach would maybe.
You think we have an inside play on that. Never look at the scoreboard. Thompson-Smith scoreboard.
budget is tight like it is everywhere.
We know the money you're making for this work,
You see him roll his eyes.
You're getting paid for three jobs.
Let me tell you tonight, seriously, on a serious note, Jay is working under duress. His family's had a lot of injuries and sickness, but Jay's really got a bad back tonight, bless his heart, and he is really, you can tell, I mean, I think he's been sharp as a tack as always with what you've witnessed tonight and seen, but my hat's off to him because I've been there and done that. He's not feeling well, but still a warrior.
Well, been there, done that. Truth be known, we're going to let the cat out of the bag a little bit. Diamond, we did some of these ball games. There was one at St. George's a few years ago.
I remember when you were laying down.
I did laying on the floor of the press box and just calling the color off of your play-by-play.
I remember that. I still got a shot of you at that, not the rest stop, but on the Brownsville where all the lights are. What is that? It is a rest stop.
Yeah.
I've still got a shot of you on the other side of my car laying flat on the grass.
I hurt so bad that night.
I think the best memory, the worst memory I have, though, is in Clarksville. We were trying to get you to the restroom, and you got back toward the press box, and he laid flat on his back on the ground, and people kept coming by saying, "What's wrong with him?" I said, "He's got a bad back." But there's another memory. There's another memory I can't bring up. I was so upset about the other memory, Jay, that I refused to stop. I took the wrong turn. Somehow we wound up in Paris instead of coming back toward Jackson, and I refused to stop to let him eat.
There was no place to eat. But
remember that? And then the cameras.
That nice lady that helped me down the steps at Clarksville Academy.
She was a wonderful-looking woman, yeah. And then I remember
I was delirious
on top of that all
night.
You don't know this, but the cameras got me in McKenzie going too fast. I never paid that. Don't pay those.
I got one in another town, did not pay it.
You get those letters, don't pay them.
I got one in Bradford. Hey, when the state senator says don't pay it,
he's laughing and his back is hurting more. Let's get back to seriousness here.
Oh well, do we have to
before we get fired? Schultz is going to rewatch this. I guarantee you. Somebody's going to call him.
He doesn't care what we do, does he?
Go ahead.
Okay, let's take a look at some of the stats from the first half.
Please.
Garrison with 112 yards on 9 carries and a touchdown. Moss, 2 carries for 24. Thetford, 1 for 5. Cheers, a couple of receptions for 21. Shannon, 1 for 39. Sorgan Fry, 1 for 8. Smith, he's got about 90 yards in reception, so a big night offensively so far for TCA. Lakai Tompkins been held to 8 yards tonight. Butler, no yards rushing. Vales has got 1. Receiving, we're doing a better job passing the ball. Weiser with a couple receptions for 78 as my foot falls asleep. Vales 1 for 12. Lakai Tompkins 1 for 5. Waller 3 for 22. So TCA with 27. TCA over 100 yards passing the football tonight. You know, we have in a game and a half, Cade Butler is already exceeding his passing yards from all of last year combined.
He's had a spectacular year. I mean, tonight we've not played that well. We're down 28-6 here at the break, but I've really been impressed with the young man.
Hey, why don't we go ahead and get another commercial break?
Let's do that. We probably need to anyway before we get in more trouble.
With the score 28-6 as we get ready for second half action, you're watching TCA Football on the BallGame Blitz, and we're back after this.
Hello, I'm Chad P. Wilson with Foundation Bank, family-owned community bank here in West Tennessee. Your checking account should offer more than a place to just store your money. Our foundation benefits with high-interest accounts include the flexibility of a checking account with tiered interest rates, identity theft protection, cell phone protection, and more. So start a financial conversation with us today by visiting foundationbank.org or calling us on the number at the screen. In the meantime, go Lions! McKinsey Banking Company is an equal housing lender, member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
This could be a true story. On October 3rd, a 2003 hatchback struck and killed a deer that goes by the name Buck. I know, right? He now has Buck's head proudly displayed on his living room wall. He tells a different story.
Shot it.
No, he didn't.
And to hide his lie, he took his car to Mitchell's Body Shop.
No, I didn't.
Yes, he did. And lucky for him, they made it look good as new. And as for Buck, the story continues.
Home furnishings, appliances, bedding, and so much more. Kaufman's. At the Bypass and Oil Well Road in Jackson. Home furnishings for every room in your home. Custom upholstery options too, with professional advice. Major appliances from America's top name brands. Mattresses and bedding accessories. Outdoor living and grilling too. And our fully stocked warehouse helps prevent supply chain delays. Kaufman's, for your life.
Downtown is thriving and the Blacksmith Restaurant is leading the pack. From the rustic dining room to the unmatched patio, eating local with family is what we're about. Live local, eat local, relax local.
Dynamics Physical Therapy, your elite provider in sports medicine and performance. Now serving communities throughout West Tennessee.
On the Thompson-Smith scoreboard, Union City leads USJ with a 6.5 to go in the third, 7-6 in that particular ball game. It was 0-0 at the half. We'll try and get you a Jackson Christian score here. In that ball game, it's 21-14. Jackson Christian leading in that ball game as the score keeps fading in and out, but it looks like 21-14. Jackson Christian with the lead in that ball game. They just threw a pass out of bounds.
And here's the kick, and it will be gathered in over there by Vales at the 20. He scampers his way up to near the 30-yard line.
Dave, you should have just poked me in the back.
Yeah, kick. That's okay. Kick that time by 45. Who is 45? I had that earlier. Again, we have about 3 rosters on them. But anyway, Stan, they've used numerous guys punting and kicking the football tonight, haven't they?
Well, and they had a bunch of uniforms did not come in from their uniform supplier, and they actually had to call some of their senior players from last year and say, can we have your jersey back? We need it.
Yeah.
True story.
Well, it's going to be handoff. Is that Tompkins? They will push his way behind the line of scrimmage for a few yards to about the 31. He picks up about 2. The ball was at the 29.
You know,
so it's going to be 2nd and 8.
Diamond, on that play, if you noticed it, everybody bit on Tompkins getting the ball up the middle. Boy, wouldn't it have been nice if he could have RPO'd that, pulled that ball back out. Watch this here.
Sure.
He's going to take the ball, go inside, look at them all commit, and, man, we would have had players wide open on the slant.
So it's going to be second, and let's call it 9 at the 30. 11-12 clock running. First series of plays in the second half. TCA down 28-6. Throw out here in the flat, and caught by Waller at the 35-yard line in traffic. 2 defenders out there, but Butler able to thread that thing right through there. Nice play.
Waller, 28 yards on 4 receptions. Nice little throw in the flat. In the traffic. 3 players all around. Breaks 1 tackle and gets back to the 36.
Well, it's going to be third and about 4.
The coach, Ken Northcutt, watching in.
How about Ken? One of my favorite people of all time. He and Lisa in the game. Squaring and throwing. Nice play by Butler. And it's caught by Waller. Midfield, 45-yard line, 42-yard line. And a nice across-the-body pass by the sophomore Cade Butler. And he threw that like a bullet. And a nice pattern run by one Waller.
23-yard reception.
Excuse me, that's Cooper Vales. I apologize.
Well.
6, not 8.
Well, 35 yards and 2 receptions for Coop.
Judy would be mad at me and Larry if I don't get that right. Now what do we have here?
Shrill through the night air.
That's right. One of my favorite sayings through the years. 10-15 left here. And Stan, what do they call here?
It's against them.
Offsides. Offsides, yeah.
We'll take it.
Sure will. So the Lions right now have something going, Stan. You know, a score here, you're right back in this thing.
28-6 at the half. If you can just get you can get a score, just play a little solid defense, fight your way back in the ball game, and we can have a good outcome or a much better result.
Yep. First down, you're playing right now like the score is 0-0. Tompkins, good power move as he powers his way and slams his way to the 35 and picks up only a couple, but it was 1st and 5. Now it's 2nd and a long 3.
And he carried 5 guys to do that too. They are keying on him, and they know Tompkins is the real deal running the football. And Dave, it's only a matter of time before he breaks one, though.
Yeah, I think so.
You can only keep a stallion in his pen for so long before he breaks out.
You can't stop him all the time. You just try to control him. Butler rolling and throwing. Nice catch, but even a better tackle. And a loss of a yard or 2. The ball caught, but nothing there at all. And what a nice open field tackle by Carroll.
That was Vales on the reception.
Yep, and it was Carroll, Alexander Carroll.
Oh, that was a nice play.
That sure was.
Yeah, we got the ground shot working tonight.
Guys have done a great job. Grayson and Trace have been superb along with Jay. 3rd and 3. Actually, 3rd and about 5. That's a loss of 2 yards. In the shotgun, Butler. It's probably 2-down territory. Slingshots it, and it's picked off. It was deflected. Threw it with about 4 people around him, and coming back toward us is Jamison Smith. He's still on his feet, trying to get outside. Tompkins may have saved a touchdown. Now the ball is fumble, and Tompkins made an outstanding defensive play, but Butler would like to have had that one back. Threw it in traffic, deflected 4 guys back there, and it's picked off by ECS Jamison Smith.
As he gets older and more wiser, and as he hears from Papa after the game, he's going to eventually learn to not throw the ball in traffic, as the young man from ECS is still down the field with a cramp. But he's going to eventually quit throwing the ball into traffic like that one way or another. That lesson will be learned, and when he does that, he'll be a much more complete and a much more dangerous quarterback. What he sometimes needs to do is, instead of forcing a pass into coverage, tuck that little puppy and run with it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Go ahead and steal a couple of yards yourself, dude.
3rd interception of the night by the defensive secondary. Dude.
We've already had one quarterback named Dude.
Yeah, we sure have.
Can't have another.
One of the great ones of all time, not just here, but anywhere. One of the great ones I've ever covered.
James Dusenberry works at the same financial institution as the Dude does.
Really?
Yeah.
How about that?
Well, the Dude knows people in South Carolina now. He knows them big dogs.
Always helps to know all the big dogs. 31-yard line, 1st and 10, ECS now with the football.
You know Dusenberry's military too, don't you?
Here is the handoff, running it, far side left. Garrison breaks a tackle. 45 midfield, breaks another tackle, 40, and is able to fall forward all the way inside the 40 and almost broke that thing. Again, Stan, I know we're saying missed tackle a lot, and again, trying to be critical of our kids, but that was 2 missed tackles. Is there a flag back here at about the 42-yard line, though? You're going to bring that back to the house, folks.
Oh, please do.
Well, today's National Puppy Day. I've just saluted Bella and Bentley, and I saluted my former comrades in crime, Jeter.
Memories came up. It's a picture of my 2 young nieces when they were babies, and they're now both, one's out of college and one's at Indiana State, playing with Max and Lucy.
Yep.
Many years ago, it seems.
I believe we'll see them again. 32-yard line, 31-yard line. Had a Redbird delight near me the other day on the deck.
I saw that picture.
Still think they're angels among us. 8:13 left here. 1st and 9 after all of that.
Some of them were named Allison, and they're married to Blake.
Yep. Handoff. Right up the middle, Garrison. My goodness, he has had a night of nights. And he moves his way to the 45-yard line of TCA. And Stan, let's give him a lot of credit, but the O-line has really opened up some holes, and he doesn't need a big hole to make something happen, does he?
133 yards, but my count, Diamond, only 10 carries. He has had 3 runs of 20 yards or more.
Yep, he sure has.
2 runs of over 30.
Well, it's been a big night for the ECS Eagles. They're flying high here tonight at 10 Windy City Road. They lead 28-6 again. Hand off to A-Cup this time. He breaks a tackle. He's at the 40 to the 35, and finally we bulldog him down at about the 33-yard line. Again, that's another missed tackle.
I want to look back at that play though, and I'm going to tell you what. I don't think it was necessarily that bad of a defensive stab. He had to try and make the shoestring tackle and missed it there. But I'm not going to call out the missed tackle on that one. It was a great effort. Just came up a little short, in my opinion.
Right. Well, they're on the prowl again. The Eagles are anyway. A-Cuff. This time the Lions really good defense. They stop him right at the point of attack.
Okay, here's what we got to do. We got our big man getting up off
big
the floor.
Rook Stevens.
Look at Rook here. He fights off his man in a standoff there.
He did a great job.
You got to be able to shuck that guy off, and he would have made that tackle for a small loss in the play. Got to learn how to use your hands, twist, turn, and shuck.
But still did a good job there with causing enough interference if they only get a couple. 2nd and a long 8. Doubles, far side left, wide side of the field on your screen. And here's Thetford. He's gone all the way tonight. He's played well. The flat finds a new receiver.
Oh, my.
And that is Graham Sorgenfry. And you hear their crowd over there like it because he played almost like he was a defender as he just barreled his way right into the secondary and gets good yardage down to the 22. We're staying 28-6, 6:15 third. If they score here, it could be totally out of control. For a comeback anyway.
This time last year, it was 40-0 already.
Yep.
It was a running clock last year in the second half.
And handoff, nothing there. As Hammer and Hank Miller made the play that time, Stan.
And credit the ECS defense. They've done a good job on Miller and blocking our backers in this ball game tonight. But Hammer and Hank.
Mom's going to get a picture right below us here and get some video.
Yep, that'll be on a Facebook highlight that I'll see later on.
He played well, Mom.
Tonight.
2nd down and 10. Taking his athletic ability from his mother, I might add.
Well, I've got to get them to teach me how to do some editing.
2nd down and 10, 5:27 left. There's another new running back. They're getting everybody in there right now. It looked like that time was that Vargo carrying it, I think, that time.
Yeah, we came with the blitz, and who read that play? Hammer and Hank Miller with the tackle on that play.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
And Big Rook Stevens doing a good job
Mom
fighting
said
it
he gets
off.
that ability from his granddaddy, Johnny Williams. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the coach.
Yeah. Well, John, I guess I first met him back when he's at Northside years ago. A legend.
They're good folks, too.
They really are.
They're just good people.
I mean, I'm serious when I say legend. Now, you don't say that about a lot of people, but he is one. 28-6, 4:48 left here. 3rd down and 10. They try to get single coverage down there. Incomplete. And good defense that time by Zane Atwood, who saved it from being 6 points.
The thing, though, that ball was just overthrown. It was thrown in a position where Zane was not going to be able to even get a hand on it. It was either going to be overthrown or right in his hands for 6.
Yeah, I agree with you, sir.
I mean, very well thrown football by the quarterback. They're going to go for a little field goal action here.
Yeah, they're going to bring in, the holder is going to be Carroll.
So this is going to be a
like a 39-yard
attempt just inside the hash.
What do they got out there? Is that 37 again? I'll have to double check here. They've got his number turned. No, it's 20-something.
Well, let's get a block and return this kick. What do you say,
Snap
dog?
back, ball down, kick up, and that kick is headed to the end zone, and it is good.
Wow.
How about that? That kick was good by John Vargo from 39 yards out at the 4:35 mark and makes it 31-6.
Look, Blake Butler just got a whole lot better looking. He just stood up there right in the stands.
He sure did. We'll take a break. Back after this on the BallGame Blitz.
Hello, I'm Chad P. Wilson with Foundation Bank, family-owned community bank here in West Tennessee. Your checking account should offer more than a place to just store your money. Our foundation benefits with high-interest accounts include the flexibility of a checking account with tiered interest rates, identity theft protection, cell phone protection, and more. So start a financial conversation with us today by visiting foundationbank.org or calling us on the number at the screen. In the meantime, go Lions! McKinsey Banking Company is an equal housing lender, member FDIC. Terms and conditions.
This could be a true story. On October 3rd, a 2003 hatchback struck and killed a deer that goes by the name Buck. I know, right? He now has Buck's head proudly displayed on his living room wall. He tells a different story.
Shot it.
No, he didn't.
And to hide his lie, he took his car to Mitchell's body shop.
No, I didn't.
Yes, he did. And lucky for him, they made it look good as new. And as for Buck, the story continues.
Here's a short kick, and Bales will see it scamper out of bounds at about the 15-yard line, so the Lions will come out of there. And we have Larry Bales watching tonight. A lot of folks watching and tuning in tonight, Stan. We sure do appreciate that. So it's 31-6, 4:35 left, and the
wait a minute, flag against them, of course.
Yeah, that's the kick out of bounds. Yeah,
it's still on the Thompson-Smith scoreboard. It's still Union City 7, USJ 6, with 1 minute to go in the third quarter play. That ball game on one of our sister stations.
Stan, I did Trenton Peabody and Gibson County for years in football, along with Bradford basketball up there for years. You know that. I bring it up, though, simply to say Union City through the years was always one of the more difficult places to go play of any place you went.
And if the picture I saw is good, we might want to we may have to make friends with the Union City fans in the stands.
Well, I'm surprised you don't already have friends up there. Here's a handoff, and nothing much at all.
I do have one friend there that works at the water department. I could shut that whole city down.
That is carrying the ball that time, Nick Jones.
Man, if they don't watch out, I mean, I could make a phone call and it can happen.
Oh, really? You got powerful friends up here, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Powerful
He
places.
used to be a director at the WAZ TV station.
Powerful people in powerful positions. 35-yard line, no gain. Second down at 10. 4 minutes. We approach the 4-minute mark. Glad Jerry Davis was watching tonight, our good buddy. Jerry and I go back a long ways, back from our Trenton days. These kids are graduates of Trenton Peabody, like mine. Here's the pass out in the flat.
Looky.
A great catch by Weiser. He may go again. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown!
65 yards for my new bud, Will Weiser.
Second time tonight. Boy, you get Will out here on this.
And Diamond?
On this side of the field, he's dangerous. 31-12. We go for 2, I would imagine.
He's got touchdown receptions of 63 and 65.
And we've got a Eagle down back here, one of the linemen. Let's hope he's all right. And some concern by the folks. Well, actually, I thought they were lifting his leg up, maybe a cramp, but that's not the case. So we're going to have stoppage in play. 31-12. And we've got a player down. And
that's an ECS.
Yeah, one of the linemen. Yep. So let's take a break, say a little prayer for him. Back up to this.
Home furnishings, appliances, bedding, and so much more. Kaufman's. At the Bypass and Oil Well Road in Jackson. Home furnishings for every room in your home. Custom upholstery options too, with professional advice. Major appliances from America's top name brands. Mattresses and bedding accessories. Outdoor living and grilling too. And our fully stocked warehouse helps prevent supply chain delays. Kaufman's, for your life.
Downtown is thriving and the Blacksmith restaurant is leading the pack. From the rustic dining room to the unmatched patio, eating local with family is what we're about. Live local, eat local, relax local.
Dynamics Physical Therapy, your elite provider in sports medicine and performance. Now serving communities throughout West Tennessee.
I like that, Major.
Caleb McCullough was the injured Eagle on the field, and we're back to play. That last commercial brought to you by Dynamics. That's where the Big Cheese is going to be doing his rehab, I'm told.
All right.
Nice something to get the memo. Use one of our paying sponsors.
You're so aggravatable. For such a word. 4 receivers, far side right. The Lions go for 2.
I learned them big words from you, Diamond.
Nobody any happier about that play than Van McLeod and Jeff Weiser.
14 years. You think I'd learn a couple big words off of you?
Yeah, a few here and there. 31-12. Well, I ran 300 football programs off today for a college game, and the football team decided they're going to make 8 roster changes. Guess what the program is going to read tomorrow? They're going to have 8 problems in it. 31-12, 346. Butler, they go left here, and it's caught. And caught by Waller. It's the Waller and Weiser show, and it's 31-14. They put 4, flooded them over there on the other side stand, but they came back to the single guy here, and the Lions make it 31-14, 346. Back after this short message on the BallGame Blitz.
Looking for a new and exciting career? At Jackson State Community College, we offer nationally recognized, top-rated programs designed to greenlight your career for success. With courses available in the health sciences, nursing, computer technology, and much more, your next step towards a career starts here at Jackson State. Learn how Jackson State Community College can greenlight your future at greenlightyourfuture.com.
If you don't know, Game Boy headsets do not work real well in mixing boards.
Green Light Future. I love all of our ads and all of our sponsors, but that Jackson State, that sort of just grabs me. I like that moniker.
You know what grabs
out
me? You're seeing all these schools going to artificial turf, and we got the real grass here.
And it's so good, it looks like artificial turf.
Miller.
Look at that.
And Blake Butler taking care of the field. After the middle school game Thursday, we got to talk a little middle school football. As soon as the middle school football game was over, Justin Miller was on that John Deere tractor from Tennessee Tractor, one of our fine sponsors, who he happens to work for, and was cutting the field after the game.
Yeah, you see Foundation Bank, Jones Chevrolet, Jackson State, the Blacksmith there. Our logo sponsors there. Here's Holsinger. Let's see if he boots it down that end zone again. No, it's a little short this time. About the 3, to the 4, to the 5, to the 10, to the 15.
Good tackle.
Great special teams coverage there. Outstanding play.
Well, the coaching staff liked it.
Yeah, they liked that by Caleb Kime, wasn't it?
Caleb Kime, junior. Now, you make plays like that, guy.
You start playing
more. That
more.
is how you earn playing time. Would you agree?
Yes, sir. At the 18-yard line, you're asking Jay Cashin, who couldn't tackle a fly right now with that bad back.
I think me and him need to do some 40-yard dashes after the game. What do you say?
31-14, 3:42. Coach Butler will join us in the press box after the game.
And we have a microphone for him this
Hopefully
week.
about a big comeback. 31-14, 3:42 left. And Thetford would go back in that shotgun. So the line shows some spunk. Trying to fight their way back into this thing.
Here, guy.
Joshua Vincent's creeping up there like he is going to do that. But they go to Garrison. He's hit in the backfield. We don't miss the tackle this time. Bang! He's hit back there. Spins forward from about the 18, maybe to the 20, but great defense by the Lions.
I want to see this play. It's the same play they've been running all night. They look for the draw, comes to the line of scrimmage, then goes laterally to find a hole. Same play to either side, and we're finally starting to pick it up a little bit.
Yep, sure
That's
are.
where you got to have your defensive ends have to come across, keep them on the inside, and then pinch that play in so he can't get to the outside off tackle where he wants to go.
How about a stop here and a score, and you're right back in this
Yes,
thing.
sir.
31-14, 3 minutes. Lions had the big comeback last week. Got to stop this guy, and bang, they do it. And that time Garrison carried it, but he did not beat the on-rushing tackle of Marshall Ray.
And Marshall Ray.
And Keltner. So it brings up third down and a good 5.
You know where Marshall Ray's from?
Where's that?
It ain't the south side of Chicago, but it is the south side of Jackson. So that means he's one mean dude.
Yeah, that's right. 31-14, 2:40. Out of the game will run the ECS Eagle in the presence of Jamison Smith. And they'll bring in Kyle Maybe. He was one of the captains. No, he was not.
What was that singer's name, Diamond? Uptown got its hustlers.
I think
the Bowery's got its bums.
Yeah, 31-14. Don't sing anymore. 2:14 left here. They put a man in motion. It's going to be illegal procedure, I think. Or did someone call a timeout?
Died in a car accident.
Well, it was 3rd and 5.
Delay
of game.
One of his great albums, Jim Croce, Time in a Bottle.
One of the few times we've seen ECS a little out of sync offensively.
Yep.
Hadn't been a ton of penalties in the game.
No, been a well-officiated ball game.
Yeah,
Lord help me for saying that.
They've done a great job.
You know, our local officials love to watch our broadcast, so, hey, I did say something nice about the officials.
They deserve that. They've done excellent tonight.
Look how straight that line is. That is a computer-generated line.
Sure. A minute 55, Thetford rolling, throwing, caught underneath, and then a great tackle. Outstanding tackle. And Will Keltner put to the ground that time Carroll, and Carroll comes up limping a little bit.
Playing the middle linebacker, rotates over, the catch, and immediately on him like Dick Butkus would have done back in the late 60s against the Green Bay Packers.
Excuse me, for the purposes of those keeping score at home, and if you are, you need counseling, it's Noah Wilder that caught it. Noah Wilder, number 9.
And Freddie Garrett gets a pass, though.
Yeah, he does.
Freddie Garrett always scores at home.
He does. 31-14, our good buddy scored. Time and ball. That's where you always want to do things, right? And back to punt it. That's going to be Vargo back there. Yeah, Vargo's got to punt it.
Look at this!
They fake it.
Oh.
They fake it, and 25, 30, 35, and to the 37-yard line on a 4th and 4 from their own 24. ECS catches TCA napping. Did we have a flag, though?
Well,
yep, it is.
But I am going to admit this. I'm going to admit this to Jay. I'm going to admit this to Dave. As I reach down and pick up some of my athletic equipment off the floor that I was faked out of.
Yeah, the punter did a good job making out like he was going to. It went over his head. Illegal procedure.
Well, it should be illegal to do that when you're up 31-14.
I'm not sure Coach Adams is real enthralled with the call, but it's got to stand.
You know, he was a kicker on the same team that Blake Butler played for at Memphis.
Yeah, sure was. I remember the name. Blake was a really good offensive lineman.
He was D'Angelo Williams' personal escort.
Of course, one of the great players to ever play there was his dad, and went on to the Seattle Seahawks. John Keith did. Bill Hamilton taped his ankles.
You know, John Keith went to the Seahawks. He arrived at the Seahawks the year after one of the most legendary Evansville Rights football players, Don Hanson, left the Seahawks from the expansion draft.
Yeah, Keith Butler was all-pro.
But John Keith will know the name Don Hanson.
Yep. 31-14. And now they'll bring out the punting unit and punt it for real.
Now let's snap it over his head.
Vargo to stand back near his 5.
And I'm going to watch
50 seconds, clock running in the 3rd.
Pay attention here this time.
TCA down 31-14. Good snap. And a line drive that will be filled by Nick Jones at the 45. Jones will make a great move and make a miss. Talked about missed tackles. Boy, he did a super job there. Made a couple of Eagles miss.
Yeah,
and good return back inside midfield. And where they mark him out?
Dangerous a little bit, but took it.
Looks at this move. Yeah, look at that. That's great.
Made
balance.
a little shifty move there. Another shifty move.
Great balance.
Avoided 2 tackles there, and Mrs. Jones's baby boy does well. The very famous Mrs. Jones, I might add.
Do we have another penalty?
No, it's
no, do not. I thought I saw a crackback block call, but that's not the case. No, sure don't.
Well, we've got the ball in some of our best field position tonight, Diamond. Let's convert it into points. What do you say?
Ball will be at the 43-yard line. 1st and 10 Lions. A score here. You're right back in it. Late third. Give it to Jones. Jones trying to go outside. Spins, moves, nothing there. First guy got there, made him change directions. Gone to Jones here, and Tompkins is not. Is he hurt, Stan? Is he out there?
No, I mean, he's got to have a. Remember, Tompkins doesn't leave the field. So he's just taking a break there for a series.
Well, they've had Jones in there for a couple of series. Yeah, let's see here. Nothing against Nick, but
no,
Tompkins,
this is
I don't
playing.
see Tompkins out there.
He's there at the 34-yard line.
It's going to be the clock expiring before the snap. Well, we go to the fourth. Our score: ECS 31. TCA 14. Lions have it in ECS territory. When we come back, can they make some magic happen? We'll find out after this on the BallGame Blitz.
Do you want your smile to say it all? At Elite Dental Care, we'll make you and your family feel comfortable and secure with a variety of services and state-of-the-art care. We offer sedation dentistry that will make your time in the dental chair comfortable and relaxed. Come by and see our newly renovated and expanded office in Jackson, or one of our other convenient locations in Trenton or Dyersburg. Trust your smile with Elite Dental Care, and let your smile say it all.
At Lonnie Cobb Ford, we now give you a warranty for life on the engine and transmission. That's right, a warranty for life at no cost to you. Unlimited time, unlimited mileage, but it's only at Lonnie Cobb Ford in Henderson, where cars really are cheaper in the country.
You're back on
a little bit. Thompson Smith Insurance Scoreboard Update, Diamond. Those golden twisty boys have put 19 on the board. They've held USJ to 6, 11:37 and counting in the fourth quarter of that game.
Here we go. As Butler will throw it, caught, and nice catch. And now down to the 30-yard line will scurry in this case.
Still going.
Joshua Delk. Nice plays. Delk's inside the 30, down to about the 27. Great play.
14-yard pickup, and he broke a few tackles there, Diamond.
So Delk.
Look at him shake off the tackler there.
Sure did. Yeah, now we're beginning to make them miss some tackles.
And then Keltner comes in to lower the boom, adds an extra 2 yards to the play.
Keltner doesn't miss much, does he?
No, and that is legal as long as you do it from behind the line of scrimmage like a rugby play.
31-14, first play from scrimmage in the fourth quarter, and the Lions have something going, don't they, folks? Butler claps those hands, gets it, gives it to Nick Jones. Jones trying to go far side left.
Stiff arm.
Their lateral defense has been excellent all night, and they grab him and stop him for about a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, you're going to have to young man, you're going to have to learn to use the stiff arm out there a little bit and at least deflect that first receiver as Lakai Tompkins is coming back into the ball game now.
So it's going to be 2nd down and 9. The ball at the 26-yard line. Lions almost have to score here to, I think, stay in the game because their offensive line is pretty well had their way at times and would be able to just run the ball and get some first downs and run the clock out sooner or later. Butler has it, wants to throw, rolls right, looks right, throws down and got a man open and incomplete.
Had to throw that one away because he was being chased, and that was the wise decision. It was going to be either caught or out of bounds, so that was a good play there.
Yep, no doubt. 3rd down and 9. Yeah, if your guy can't catch it, make sure no one else can. And that pass intended to Delk again, who made the big catch a moment ago on the big play. Tompkins to the left of Butler. 10:49, the clock stopped on the incomplete pass. Butler drops, throws, downfield. Is that a catch?
Did he catch
what
that?
A catch.
Touchdown!
What a catch by that's who? Waller. No, it's Cooper Vales.
Wow!
Vales with a catch of his career thus far, extending those paws up over everyone.
Look at this. On the
in.
replay. Skies, and did he one-hand that, dude?
The 6 and 8 always run together with me a little bit, and he made a spectacular play.
That is Fred Bolitnikoff-like hands there, my golly, G. Bill.
10:43 left here, and that keeps the Lions right in this thing, and now they'll
And Diamond, that's about as high compliment as you can pay
31
on
to 20,
catching the ball.
and
To
they'll
say
go.
You did it like Fred.
26 yards out. They'll go for 2, the Lions will. 4 receivers. They flood the other side. Then they come back this way. That's caught. And just a spectacular catch by the Lions. It's 31-22.
Look at this.
2 outstanding plays. TCA tried to and did fool them. They flooded the left side. They come back here with single coverage. And there they have it.
Skywalking.
And that is caught. And what a leaping, athletic play by the Lions. And the Lions are right back in it, 31-22.
Reminds me of 3-dog Eli Parker against the 6'7" Adamsville defensive back in the scoreboard corner of the end zone a few years ago, if you remember that touchdown where he climbed up the guy's back to get the score.
And the student body loves it.
I love it too.
Someone says we're having a little sound problem there. We apologize. Although that's not our game.
That's not us.
Someone else's game. Good.
Well,
not good for them, but good that it's not us. Well,
we don't have problems like that.
31, that's Jay Cash and his demand is what it is. So the Lions strike back just like they did last week, and they never say die Lions have a chance now, Stan, with 10:43 still remaining in this game.
And now suddenly a game that was on the verge
of
being a blowout.
Yeah.
And them running us out of town.
And you got to remember, too, a lot of young kids are making some big plays, and that's a testament to Blake and the coaching staff and the kids themselves.
Well, Blake is, and and credit the coaches. We figured out something.
Well, remember, too, it's 28-6 at halftime. They've only scored 3 points in this half, they being ECS. So give the defense some credit, too, and then the offense picking up the slack. 31-22. They've got the music blaring, the crowd on their feet.
And they've got a good hands team up front, expecting a possible onside kick. Now knock it 5 miles.
Dan, how are the Valentine boys doing at the?
Well, I tell you what, they're playing well. And speaking of that, their father, the living legend of TCA boys basketball, watching the game tonight.
How about that? Tuned in tonight. I bet Granddad.
Valentine kids had a great game Tuesday.
Taking their athletic ability from their mother.
Grandma, too.
And, yeah.
From Lolly.
Step-grandmother, and they're not from their dad or grandfather. 31-22, 10:43.
Not a bit from Rodney.
Rodney's one of my special friends. Well, we've got a player, ECS, shaking up down here. They're helping him back. Well, we talked about
that's
how hard.
That's the second big man that's gone down.
We talked about how hard they'd hit TCA. TCA dosed out some punishment in the second half, haven't they?
And, the Lillard guys bringing the hammer tonight.
Today's one of my favorite days on social media. You know why? National Puppy Day.
Because everybody puts pictures of their pups up?
And if we humans were as kind and faithful and loyal as most dogs, we'd have a better world, believe me. 31-22.
And if the dog's mean and nasty, it's because the human was mean and nasty.
That's right. They love us with unconditional love. So here,
still miss my Lucy.
Yeah, Holsinger will kick it there. Yeah, I looked at pictures of my boy Jeter and Max.
Jeter didn't like me.
Jeter didn't like anyone except me. I was the only one. He liked Jeremy, my son, but that's about it. He did not like my daughter.
I stayed in the when we got walking him. I stayed in the car.
Well, he bit about 3 or 4 people that come to our house. Here's the kick, and back near the goal line at the 1. Bringing it back. And the Lions, pretty good downfield coverage, but he breaks a couple tackles, and now we just lasso him down.
And that was number 16 for TCA.
And bringing it back was Carroll. He thought maybe there was goal.
Guess who that was?
Who's that?
The G-Man, the General, Gabriel Lee.
How about Gabriel Lee? Saw Mom down there earlier. And Dad, they said they'd been listening to us coming back from Alabama.
The little General.
He's going to be a good one. Seen those
I tell you what.
Remember those kids when they used to come up behind us at basketball? I loved them. Yeah. They were always
playing
up there
with toys.
Yeah, they were always up there with us, 23-yard line.
I tell you what, you talk about
great
Gabriel
family.
Lee. There's another kid who's got glue on his hands.
Uh-huh.
He's going to be a good receiver.
31-22. Those gals have had great college careers, high school careers, some of the all-time leaders ever.
Quarterback keeper.
Play fake, and that's going to be Thetford keeping it, 35-40. Knocks off a couple of would-be tacklers and moves his way to the 47-yard line. This kid is really the real deal. He is really good, folks. Throwing it and running it both.
27 yards by Thetford.
So it's going to be now. First and 10 at the 42. That gets them out of a hole, too, Stan. That's a big play there for them.
That's what they needed.
Yep, sure did.
Was a big positive result.
Because TCA's done a good job on them in this half for the most part.
Now we need a big sack.
Larry's giving us those scores from Union City. Pam McLeod says, great job, Cade. Mr. Weiser, Jeff again watching. Handoff. Garrison, hadn't heard from him in a while. We hear from him now, though, as he plunges his way and dives his way for the first down to the 43-yard line of TCA. They move the chains again. Stan, how many first downs do they have tonight?
A bunch.
Too many.
143 yards on 11 carries unofficially.
Big Rook comes out of the game, coming in.
We got a injured lying on the field. So
I think hopefully just a leg cramp. Let's take a break.
Yeah, let's take a quick break. 31-22 with 9:49 to go. ECS in the lead. You're watching TCA football on the BallGame Blitz and the TCA Football Broadcast Network.
The most important benefit when you buy from Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way? Peace of mind. Jones Chevrolet's warranty forever comes with every qualifying new and pre-owned vehicle. Powertrain coverage for as long as you own your vehicle. Find out more at Jones Chevrolet in Three-Way.
And we're back, and we saw an Evangelical Christian player hurt. What we didn't see was Will Keltner laying on the ground, too, but he walked off under his own power.
He comes off.
Looks to be a cramp.
Thetford now. Clock running at 9:45. They'll take their time as well, leading 31-22. Lead has been cut to 9, though. Got to find a way to stop this running game, and we do just that, TCA does. Get him right there at the line of scrimmage.
Tell you what, great job plugging the hole.
Couple of guys there. One of the guys there
that was Marshall Ray doing a great job plugging
the hole.
Along with, I want to make sure I get Reddick.
Yeah, Reddick there. Dad, right below us. I talked to him about Lambeth a few minutes ago. 30 at halftime. 31-22 your score, 9:26 left.
Of course, you know what his nickname is, don't you?
What's that?
Saint.
Saint Reddick?
No, his first name, Saint Nicholas.
Saint
Reddick.
Nicholas, yeah, Nicholas Reddick. Okay.
That was cute.
I'm a little slow tonight. I've spent a long day.
No comment.
Here's a snap. It goes right through the hands of Thetford, but he gets it, and he makes something happen. My goodness. 40, 35, darts his way 30, 25. You see him go, he's going to go all the way.
Oh, my.
Out of nothing, out of absolutely nothing, the kid runs 43 yards and no flags for the touchdown. Stan,
Butler is not happy about something.
He's pretty special, isn't he?
Yeah, let's if we can get replay.
He's on the official. I think he thought there was some illegal blocking. He's after the white hat, Blake is.
Yeah, if it was going to be on.
Yeah.
It would be a little more up.
Yep. So the 43-yard run takes the starch out of the TCA comeback.
Yeah.
At 8:54 of the game, 37-22. That really hurt there.
Well, you know what? It would mean that we were down. If it convert the extra point, mean we were down by 16 with 9 minutes. We know all about how to fix that.
Yeah, Vargo in to attempt the PAT. With 8:54, they up the lead to 15. Could be 16, and it is. Your score with now 8:54 left in the contest. 38-22. A two-score game. Lions still have a chance. Got to score when we come back. On Worthy Road Studios, production of the BallGame Blitz.
She's a beauty, isn't she?
My parents said they would buy me a car for college. This is perfect.
Well, this one isn't for sale, but I can tell you how to win it.
It's time for the 4th annual Lifeline Car Giveaway.
And Joe Mahan Ford is proud to donate a car again this year.
Get flood with Lifeline between Memorial Day and Labor Day for a chance to win a 2019 Ford EcoSport. Join Lifeline.
And Joe Mahan Ford and give blood this summer.
It's easy.
And you could save a life.
As I get it. And we're back here, 8:54, 38-22. Evangelical Christian on the 43-yard scramble. Coach Butler was not happy about something. He's still barking at some people.
Yeah, he was not happy with the white hat. He thought there was some illegal blocking downfield.
Well, on a scramble like that, odds are something happened.
Yeah, normally you get a flag, or sometimes you get a flag on that. Well, they tee it up again.
Well,
ECS
let's just
does.
return this all the way, dude.
I agree with you, dude. Here's the kick. Going to be a short kick. The Lions will fall on it and gather it back in there like a loaf of bread there at the 32-yard line.
Diamond, that ball hit the ground, spun in like a Jay Cashin 9-iron on the 18th hole of the Masters.
That was Owen Atwood. 38-22. Yeah, they got the big tournament down in Atlanta. I was pulling for Jordan Spieth, but he's not doing real well. Scotty.
I don't know what year it was, but it was John Daly and his son winning some classic or something, 37 over or under par.
Latest thing on social media is the picture of Tiger and then John Daly. And then Tiger is supposed to be the classy one, and Daly's the redneck no matter what it is. Here is 38-22.
One of them compared John Daly to TCA.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I go, that's right.
Here is Weiser. That's Waller catching it at the 40 to the 42.
They pick up 11 on
Yeah,
the
those
play.
poor Tennessee fans. One of them had SEC as Tiger, and Daly was Tennessee. I didn't do that. 42-yard line, 1st and 10. Again, nice play by Butler to Weiser that time. Or Waller, I should say.
By the time all this pillaging is over with, is there going to be more than 2 conferences in the NCAA Division I?
Yeah,
maybe 3?
Latest thing to happen. Watch what North Carolina, Notre Dame, some of those folks do. 38-22. Back to throw it. Butler intended to Waller. Waller, double coverage, incomplete. Good defensive secondary coverage there by ECS. A great effort by Waller, but he couldn't come up with it.
See, now that's when we did throw the ball in the double coverage. That's a play where you've got to recognize that and look off to one of your second, third, or fourth choices and get some positive yards out of the play.
You know, Waller still almost caught the thing, didn't
And
he?
still almost caught it. That's how good he is.
8:09. Yeah, Waller and Weiser, remember back in basketball, the progression of those kids under the tutelage of Dexter Williams, I thought they had fantastic years last year. Here's the pass underneath. There's Waller breaking a tackle. 40, 45, and upended about the 46 with a nice open field tackle by ECS across the way.
And
Delt caught it.
6 receptions for 43 yards. Dave, when you look at, when we throw a ball like that, we might catch 2 out of 10 of those 50-50 balls, of those really 80-20 balls.
Yeah, you're right. You look at the board down.
And that can be a big swing.
Dan, you look at the board, 38-22, you're down, 3rd and 7. But, you score here, it's a one-possession game if you go for 2 and make it. 3rd down at about 7.
It'd be 2 tie, but yeah.
Butler throws it and over the head of everyone, incomplete. 4th at about 7. Coach is not happy to move next to us.
Well, there have been a few holes put in that baseboard wood over the years. And we've been here for most of them.
I got a call one time. I was in a radio booth on the road at the college level, and got a call from the AD at the other school and said, Dave, the hole wasn't in the coach's box before y'all got here.
You call the coaches.
I thought the same thing. It wasn't in my booth, but it wasn't a lot of hand that day. Butler throws. Won the first down. Incomplete.
Oh.
Almost a catch by Waller. But they got a hand on it and deflected at the last second. Great effort. Butler with a strike that time, but just credit good defense. Stan, they got over there and deflected it. And ECS is going to take over at the TCA 45. It's going to be 1st and 10.
The one thing I like about this TCA offense, for so many years, all we would throw would be the little flat passes out and then, flat pass. I love it that we're not afraid to get vertical.
Aiken kind of days. Would you agree?
Dude.
I don't know that we ever took him for granted, but my goodness,
Well,
we were
if he does not get
witnesses of
injured
greatness.
in 2014,
I agree.
if he does not get injured against this group of players right here, we win the state championship game.
I totally agree with that.
Because we won the game,
yeah,
and we went undefeated during the regular season, but he was so immobile for that second-round playoff game against the individual state champion.
And everyone knew it. Garrison has a hole. Garrison has running room. Garrison has yardage. 40, 35, 30. He's been pretty special tonight. But a hole that's going to come back. You can bring it back, folks. A flag at the 45.
I mean, think about it. The things we've been so close to over the years.
Yeah, no doubt.
An
ECS,
entry here, a call there.
Yeah, no doubt. In both basketball and football we've covered.
Oh, yeah.
So they bring it back.
Remember that raucous game we had up at Lake County in the sub-state?
Yes, remember that.
Wow, what a night.
You've had some moments at Lake County with TCA and other schools, haven't you? 45-yard line, first and 10.
Just with other schools. Well, I mean, if my color man wouldn't have slammed the door on the guy's hand.
38-22, 7:01.
True story, by the way.
When I go to Lake County, I'm real quiet other than the game. Garrison gets all the yardage back they lost and more. On his feet, 35, 25.
Hank Miller chases him down.
Hank Miller finally gets him down, or you scored 6. And right now it looks like TCA's sort of tired. And they just keep coming at you in waves with Garrison. Ray made the tackle, but not before they get big chunk of yards down to the 23, first and 10.
Third carry over 30 yards, 973 on the night unofficially.
Yep. So a score here, and it would be over, folks. You hate to say that, but it would be. It'll be first and 10 at the 23, 6:45 left in the game. Thetford's gone all the way. Hands it to the running back. That's a cuff, spinning, bouncing off a couple people inside the 20 to about the 18. Picks up about 5, 2nd and 5. Lions play next Thursday, short week. As far as practice, they go to Fed Academy. We'll be there. Our time at 6:30. Kickoff at 7 from Summerville, Tennessee, down in Fayette County.
Jackson Christian up 28-14 on the Thompson-Smith Insurance scoreboard.
Jackson Christian's got a good football team. Here is the handoff. And darting right by everybody. No one touched him.
Yeah.
And that's another running back and another score. That run in that time by 31, Nicholas Owens.
31-yard.
So 31 runs 31 yards.
Actually, a 21-yard scamper.
21. So Owens carries it in at the 5:58 mark, and now it's 44-22. They've doubled up on TCA.
Well, a game that was, 11 points a few minutes ago?
Yep. Mm-hmm. So they get another kicker in there. How many do they have? It's blocked. That attempt by Tommy Graves. TG has it blocked, though. 44-22, 5:58 left here in the game. This is TCA football on the BallGame Blitz.
King Jewelers is not your typical run-of-the-mill jewelry store. Grover is a certified jeweler with 35 years experience. This isn't just a jewelry store. It's an iconic symbol of love. How far would you go for love? King Jewelers, 16B Conrad Drive, Jackson.
That was the, was it Weiser's?
Yes.
That was 65.
65.
And we're back. 5:58 to go on the Thompson-Smith scoreboard with 3:11 to go. Those Golden Twisty boys are leading USJ 19-6. Wow.
Great shot there at field level there by our camera crew tonight. Again, those guys doing a great job making the big bucks along with Jay Cash, and he's the big money maker. But Trace Robinson and Grayson Resnick, we appreciate the efforts of all those guys. Here's the kick. Weiser's going to run under it at about the 5. Coming right at us now to the 10, to the 15. Got ahead of steam to the 30, to the 35, and almost broke it to the 37-yard line. Lions have no quit in them at all. That's a testament to them and to this coaching staff. Waller actually brought it back. Did I say Weiser? Waller's 8. Weiser's 5. 44-22, 5:49 left. Some of the folks headed to beat the traffic.
Now here's one. You just had Garrison in there on the kickoff team.
Mm-hmm.
When he's running like that, why are you taking a kid that valuable and putting him on the kickoff team in a game where you're up 44-22?
Yeah, that is, I guess, Well,
different.
A little unusual. Lions playing tonight without Daniel Cashin, also playing without Kobe Moore, 2 key people. Not making excuses, but those are domino effects. When those guys go out, it just runs down.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yep. 44-22, 5:49. Low snap. Butler gets it off the ground, though, and throws it and picked off. Picked off this time. That's the 4th interception tonight. And picked off by one Kyle Mabie. M-A-B-I-E. And he, B-R-I-N-G-S, brings it back to about the 42-yard line. Underthrew that time by Butler. Blake's going to talk to him as he comes off the field.
And, and Butler's thrown for over 230 yards in this ball game. I mean, he's, approaching 600 yards for the first 2 games combined. We only threw for 300 and some odd yards all of last year.
That's a good play by the linebacker, just dropping back there. Now they have Carroll in there at quarterback. Carroll's in there. Or no, Thetford's still there. I apologize. They're in the pistol with the back right behind him. Low snap. They hand it off to that little running back. And that's, again, who carried it a moment ago for the touchdown. That is one Nicholas Owens.
And the deal is, Diamond, they're not doing anything fancy. They're not using any trickery.
Nope.
It's just straight handoffs and poor tackling.
They took control of the game with that first drive of the night. It sort of set the tone. And then the INT really put them in good shape. Made it 14-0 at the end of 1, and TCA's played catch-up the rest of the night. That interception, Stan, when they led 7-0, the interception at the 2:03 mark by Carroll, that not only puts points on the board, but it really hurts you.
Keltner's down the field.
Let's hope he's all right. Boy, the Lions already banged up, could ill afford him being out. Let's take a break. 44-22, say a little prayer. And we got 2 Lions down, one with just a leg cramp, I think, but they're attending to Will Keltner. Say a little prayer for him, folks. We're back after this. 4:51 left in the game. Lions down by 22 on the BallGame Blitz.
27 years ago, a vision became a reality and Snookum Steakhouse officially opened. We cut our steaks in-house and our ribeyes are full of flavor. The steak trimmings are used to make our certified Angus beef steak burgers, so when you order at Snookum's, you are getting high quality. Enjoy our salad bar and mini dessert. Also try our famous family recipe, the Pink Lush Fruit Salad. Come visit Snookum Steakhouse in Henderson, Tennessee. We are open evenings Tuesday through Saturday but closed Sunday and Monday. Snookum Steakhouse, come taste the difference.
At Arrington Funeral Directors, we accept all pre-arranged funerals. So you may have pre-arranged your funeral in this town with another funeral home or even in another state, but we accept all pre-arranged funerals because we're here to serve families.
Diamond, I think one thing to remember, if I'm not mistaken, it was 44-0 last year was the final score, and it's 44-22 this year. Yeah, we've given up points. This game's still closer than the final score is going to indicate. Given to them.
Yeah, no doubt. Thetford, they played well, though.
Not taking anything away from them.
And that looked like a fire drill that went awry. As they snapped it, didn't snap it. Thetford, it went, sort of scooted by him a little bit, and then the whistles. Sounds going to be a
it would be
false start.
It would be bad things if we said what kind of drill it was, though.
Yeah, you can't do that anymore.
No.
It used to be a common thing announcers would use. 44-22, nothing dirty, but the right thing to do is not use that. 44-22, third down and about 8 now after all of that.
Well, you use the Keystone Cops instead.
Yeah, sure. Of course, that shows you our age. Most people would know who the Keystone Cops were. Thetford drops it this time.
Again.
He'll fall back on it about the 48. About the only things he's done wrong tonight. He's been superb. 44-22. And Stan, sometimes when you're leading big like this and just trying to take time off the clock, you sort of lose your edge a little bit, don't you? 47-yard line, they'll send back Vargo, who, how many times has he punted tonight, Stan? It's just
third or fourth. ECS brought a nice crowd tonight.
Yeah, they brought a tremendous crowd. A lot of tradition down there, a lot of love for their sports programs, just like here.
We have not seen a Memphis team maybe ever travel as well as they
I
have.
totally agree. St. George's doesn't bring that many people.
No.
It was a nice punt by Vargo, but it's going to roll into the end zone. Barely got there. They had a man down there trying to keep it out. So the Lions will bring it out, down 44-22 at 3:49. We'll be back with you next Thursday. Airtime 6:30, kickoff at 7 from Somerville, Tennessee.
Hey, and don't forget, folks, on Monday, the West Tennessee Sports High School Football Show. We'll talk all things high school football from 7 till 8. On Tuesday, we'll have a double dip of elementary and middle school football. Some games are just scheduled. Henderson North coming to town. Elementary school action at 5:30. Middle school action to follow that ball game. And then that will take us into Thursday. High school action. TCA at Fayette Academy. Fayette Academy at the last check was leading Halls 12-0 in that ball game. And we'll be there Thursday.
Lions will try to get some late magic here. Now we've got a flag. Too many people on the field. Illegal substitution. And adding insult to injury there, or vice versa, was Joshua Vincent having to run right by Blake Butler, the head coach.
Oh, boy.
Nothing puts gray hairs on a coach more than mental mistakes like that. The Blakeser, the most tenured high school coach in the city right now. Handoff and hit in the backfield, nowhere to go, is Ethan Kaufman. He's dropped for a loss, now with 3:35 left.
He's getting his first varsity carry.
Right. 44-22, that'll be a loss. Lions are all the way back now. It's second down, and we're going to get to the 30, and the ball's back at about the 16.
A freshman, and I'll be honest.
11, excuse me, is where it is.
I don't remember him carrying the ball a lot as a middle schooler if he even played here.
44-22. Second and 19. Throw out in the flat, and it's caught. Short gain, though. Well short of the first down. It brings up third down now, and Weiser caught it. He's had a good night tonight with the receptions. Almost 9:30 here in West Tennessee. Hope that you have had a good Friday night and a good week. Enjoy your weekend. Used to be, what was it, at 10:30 they used to say, do you know where your kids are? 44-22.
My mama gonna know.
3:05. Butler throws out here. It's caught and then dropped immediately for a loss is Owen Atwood. The Lions, just nothing going at all well that time. Got some young pups in there. And the ball back to about the 9, where it brings up fourth and about 23 yards, 22 yards.
We put some youngsters into the ball game.
Yeah, give them some snaps, give them some reps.
Putting the punt team back in, though.
ECS brought 2 buses tonight in the band. They'll have a safe trip, hopefully, back home.
What was the
Traveling
band
mercies for them. The band was right in front of the buses back there.
Well, you said the band.
I said the van.
Oh, the van.
High punt by Butler, and Vargo catches it about the 38. It'll be first and 10 ECS. They'll just run this clock out, I would think.
Let's say if it was the band, they must have been playing mimes.
No, they brought
it, mimes?
I heard that. I ignored it. The ball at the 38-yard line, first and 10. And it will be ECS going back home at 1-1. The Lions will fall to 0-2 and go to Somerville looking for their first win next Thursday.
Well, Diamond, USJ travels up 45 west. It's going to be a long trip home for the Bruins tonight. They fall to Union City 19-6, and what was a defensive struggle in a game that I really thought USJ would win by 2 or 3 scores easily.
Did. Yeah.
But Union City
did. You score on that Peabody or Westview
summer.
Game? Or
Peabody was winning the last score we had.
Handoff. A cuff. Hit hard at about the 22, or make it 32. 44-22. ECS led the game 7-0, 14-0. They went up to a 21-0 game, 21-6, 28-6 at halftime. 31-6, 31-12, 31-14. TCA cut it to 31-22 with 10:43 left in the game, but never any closer.
Just underway in the fourth quarter, Jackson Christian 28-14 over St. George's.
A cuff again, and 22's tackled by 22.
No relation to Roy, is it?
Hammer and Hank got him at A cuff. No. He was my grandmother's favorite singer.
And if you know who Roy Acuff is,
you're showing your age, aren't you?
Yeah.
44-22. Yeah, my granny loved him. 44-22. And off A cuff again. He's getting some running room. A big rook. Stevens made a nice play. He just swallowed him, literally.
Let's take a look at that one more time.
Watch him swallow him here.
Put a meat hook into him and took him down like Jaws taking down the fishing boat captain.
He sure did. I mean, he engulfs him. 44-22.
That running back was looking at Rooksy there going, we're going to need a bigger boat.
Acuff's going to get on the bus. Despite this win, he said, hey, guys, that guy just hit me hard. 52 seconds left. It's fourth and about a yard. Are they going to measure?
Oh, really?
I wanted to say that, but I didn't. Officials timeout as they bring in the chains. First time tonight they've had to bring them in.
And
well, you got to make them work. You pay them well, so make them work.
We do it with 52 seconds to go, though.
I'd imagine
in a 22-point difference ball game.
I'd imagine like all people, they're just doing that volunteers, so hats off to them.
Now what they need to do is walk that. Well, you got one of the refs carrying one of the chains.
Yeah.
So you can't walk it forward a little bit.
They stretch the chains here. No drama in this, really. It's going to be a first down, I think. Yes, by the nose of the football. And look at ECS. Their reserves out here. They're applauding. They want to get some scores, too.
Well,
not trying to run up the score. They're just running the ball. No. Well, the game, I think,
closer
tonight in the hands of two guys for ECS. And all of them played well, but Thetford and Garrison have been their big stars tonight.
They shine brightly.
And they'll just go in the victory formation, and Thetford will take the knee, snap it a couple of times, and ECS will go to 1-1, and TCA will fall to 0-2. There it is, and he'll down it there. Well, the Lions fought hard tonight, made the comeback, and that's going to end the game. The unhappy final here tonight, ECS, the Eagles, will fly home with a 44-22 win. We'll take a break and be back with our post game. The final score again, Evangelical Christian School 44, your TCA Lions 22. Stay with us on the BallGame Blitz.
Focusing on you, West Tennessee Bank has assembled an all-star staff with decades of experience in the Jackson and West Tennessee markets. Our top priority is listening to your goals and dreams, helping you develop a plan to achieve them. Benefit from our more than 100 years of experience. Visit us at Thompson Farms or give us a call. West Tennessee Bank is a division of Decatur County Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. West Tennessee Bank, focused on you.
Waterwell Solutions offers experienced water well drilling and service throughout the greater West Tennessee area. Whether you need a 4-inch residential well or a 16-inch irrigation or municipal well, they have you covered. Waterwell Solutions has locations in Summerville and Brownsville with a fleet of service trucks and well service technicians that are ready to cover your service needs. If you need residential well service or a new water well, give them a call at 731-779-1275.
Hey, this is Chuck Walker with Southeastern Termite and Pest Control. If you live in West Tennessee, you have a need for the services we offer. We treat for all types of pests, including bed bugs, brown recluse spiders, and other hard-to-treat pests. You don't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to encapsulate a crawl space. Give us a call to hear how to achieve the same thing and save thousands. Southeastern Termite and Pest Control can handle all of your termite and pest control needs, wood fungus and moisture barriers, real estate closing letters, and so much more. Southeastern, 731-660-1052.
Tired of being seen and not heard? At Lifestyle Vision, we believe in patient-centered quality eye care for West Tennessee, which is why we are locally owned and operated. Come see us Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, or schedule an appointment anytime online. Lifestyle Vision, where compassion meets commitment.
Hello, I'm Chad P. Wilson with Foundation Bank, a family-owned community bank here in West Tennessee. You know, home buying can be a long and confusing process, especially in today's market. While our Home Sweet Home Loan program offers incredibly competitive rates, and allows you to keep your loan local throughout the entire life of the loan. So start your financial conversation with us today by visiting foundationbank.org or calling us on the number on the screen. In the meantime, go Lions! McKinsey Banking Company and Foundation Bank are an equal housing lender, member FDIC.
At McCoy's Heating & Air, we realize there are more than enough things to worry about on a day-to-day basis. With our new 10-year all-inclusive package, your home comfort doesn't have to be one of them. For one low monthly payment, you can purchase a brand new York unit with full maintenance and repair coverage for 10 years with approved credit. No hassle, no stress, just complete coverage for your comfort and convenience. Contact McCoy's Heating & Air at 731-668-7492 or visit airmccoy.com to schedule your free new AC estimate today.
We realize you have a busy lifestyle, and at the Bank of Jackson, we're here to help you fulfill all of your financial needs, personal and business loans, mortgages, online banking and bill pay, and so much more. Serving the Jackson area for 25 years. The Bank of Jackson, your down-home community bank. You belong here. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Football looks fun. I bet I would have been great at it. The first football playing Deer, they would have made a movie about me and everything. Probably get Kurt Russell to play me. But alas, me and my dreams run right over again.
For fast, reliable collision repair, trust the experts at Mitchell's Body Shop. And get back out there.
Well, to the strings of Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond in the background. Welcome back, everybody, to the Lions Lair at 10 Windy City Road here on the campus of Trinity Christian Academy here in North Jackson, Tennessee. I'm Dave McCulley, along with Stan Gerard. As the Lions fall here tonight, 44-22. We'll give you the scoring recap in a minute. Again, a special thanks to all of our great sponsors, as we do have Jay Cashin, our producer and director tonight. Also, Trace Robertson and Grayson Resnick did a great job on the cameras tonight as well. And our executive producer and director is Paul Schulte. But special hats off to Jay Cashin, who's fighting some back issues tonight. But he did a super job as always. The Lions fall here tonight, 44-22. And here's your scoring recap. A 13-yard run by Garrison at the 6:50 mark of the first stanza. PAT by Vargo. They had a lot of guys back there kicking PATs. Made it 7-0. ECS, as their crowd is over there saluting their kids as they run off, and well, they should. Meanwhile, it was 2:03 left in the first quarter. Carroll, a 55-yard interception return by Carroll, made it 14-0. The PAT by McDaniel. I'll tell the governor who's on the other line they're calling. We'll call him back in a minute. 14-0, the score there at the 2:03 mark of the first stanza. And then it was a 4-yard touchdown play. Thetford to his receiver made it 21-0. We failed to be able to see that on the replay and on our camera. Not our replay people, just because Stan and I missed it, but I apologize. Giles to PAT, 21-0. And then Weiser, with a spectacular deflected pass play at the 6:59 mark, made it 21-6. TCA goes for 2, 62-yard pass. Then a 62-yard Thetford to Smith. Spectacular run by Smith. He got about 55 yards of that after he caught it at the 5:37 mark. 28-6, that's how we stood at halftime. Then Vargo, a 39-yard field goal in the third quarter, made it 31-6. But the Lions really got their feet under them that time and really began to play well at that time. 65-yard Butler to Weiser. 2-point conversion, made it 31-14. Lions then, Bales a 2-point conversion after he made a great catch on a Butler pass, 31-22. That came at the 10:43 mark. And then it just went awry after that. 43-yard scoring play made it 37-22. Then they go for 2. And it's 44-22 your final scores. They added another late on 21-yard Owens play from Thetford again. So they're unhappy finally here at 44-22. Blake Butler's on his way up. And we'll have a short post-game comment with Blake, and then Stan will have a couple of scores. Then we're going to scoot out of here.
Yeah, wow.
But we'll be back with you next Thursday. But Stan, a good effort by the Lions, especially in the second half, but just dug too big of a hole there.
Yeah, while Blake's on the web, let's go ahead and get you with the Thompson Smith Insurance scoreboard for the night. Union City defeats USJ 19-7. Huntington 41, Jackson Southside 13. That's a final. Peabody 25, Westview 13 in the fourth. Jackson Christian 28, St. George's 14 in the fourth. Fayette Academy knocks off Halls 27-7. Upset Dyer County over Dyersburg 21-9 final. Dresden over Greenfield 48-6 final. Hardin County shuts out Adamsville 44-0. Haywood over Oak Haven 58-6. South Gibson over Westwood 41-0. At the half, it was McNary and Fayette Ware tied at 20. 61-0. Milan over McNary, and McKenzie was leading Chester County 28-7 at the half. And that's your final look at the Thompson and Smith scoreboard from here in West Tennessee. We now got the coach, Blake Butler, speak directly into it.
Coach, tough loss, and I know you'd never been one to shun anything, but I thought poor tackling. Credit ECS. I mean, they're a well-drilled machine. They really played well tonight, and you knew they would be, but we just didn't tackle very well in the first half and dug too big of a hole, didn't we?
No, but that was what happened for various reasons. We honestly didn't have our first full practice till Wednesday, and if you don't have a good week of preparation, that's what shows up on the field on Fridays.
Yeah, no doubt, but a lot of spunk by your kids. I mean, down could have got blown out of here, but you made a game of it, didn't you?
They do. They've got some fight in them. It's just, it's so close in a lot of areas, and just getting kids to, especially not make the same mistakes twice and see it. Like I told them after the game, yes, we want a different result, but at the end of the day is we got to learn from this, and we got to be ready to play next week because our region play starts next week, and we've got to be 1-0 in region by the end of next week.
Learning process, and I like what you said there, learning process, especially by these young kids.
Yeah, and like I said, it's kind of the old expression, you can't feel your way into a fist fight, and I felt like that's what we did in the first half. And, it's forcing some of these kids to grow up, and like I said, as coaches, we've got to do a better job of getting them prepared during the week. And, that's something that we've got to put them in those scenarios where they feel like they've got to fight in practice and feel like they've got to compete against each other. And that's what we've got to demand as coaches. And, that's something that we've got to see this week.
Spectacular catches and then yardage after the catch by Will Weiser tonight.
Yeah, Will Weiser had a big night. Again, a lot of teams after what Braden did last week are going to try to take him away. And again, now they're seeing that we've got two long, tall receivers on the outside that can both make plays and are threats to take the distance at any time. And again, as we go, that's going to help the offense open up and have more options. Like I said, there's a few more areas we got to improve. We can't be so careless with the ball.
Sure.
When they're dropping 8 in coverage, you got to take a check down. They're just some straight up foolish throws. We've got to fix that. Yeah,
I know you're talking to Kate a couple of times off there. I'll say one thing: the kid's fearless. He doesn't mind slinging it down there. But their linebackers did a good job dropping back, didn't they?
They do, and like I said, you've got to believe what you see on film. They do it on film. They've done it for 2 years on film. And like I said, no disrespect to Adamsville, but this was a better group of athletes. And you can't force those throws or they're going to be interceptions. Yeah, and it just tells you how good Innsworth is, too, I guess, too. How about Cooper Vales? He made probably the catch of the year down here, didn't he? Over the head, yeah. Yeah, Cooper's made a lot of good plays. He's one that we're counting on being that kind of slot, threat on the inside. And like I said, we really expect him in the next couple of weeks to get going. Tonight it was kind of – Weiser made the big plays. Braden made it last week, and Cooper's another one. I think before the season ends, you'll hear a few big games from him. Sure. Blake, I know you have a lot of respect for Coach Adams and ECS too, but I don't know that we'll see a better effort or a better performance by Thetford and Garrison as we saw here tonight. Yeah, they're pretty special, aren't they? Yeah, they're good, solid players. The quarterback, Coach Adams is high on him. He's a kid that has really been in the program for a while, paid his dues, worked his tail off, and I say, Coach, I know he's real proud of him and just, what he means for their program. Well, you brought up a great point early in the conversation with us here. We appreciate you coming up, but you wipe this thing out, go back and look at the film, learn from it. You're 0-2, but the bottom line is you're 0-0 going into that big game in the district next week in Somerville. Yeah, and that's what we've got to do. We don't want to lose these games, but the result is the result. And, again, we've got to take our medicine. We've got to learn from it. and we've got to be sure, like I said, we're 1-0 next week.
Not been a bad week, though. Allison, your lovely wife, had a birthday. I know you took her out for the big steak dinner and maybe the new car and those kind of things.
Yeah, yesterday was her birthday. Took her out for a nice middle school game, and we'll get a chance to maybe celebrate for a little bit this weekend. But with the short week, the life of a coach's wife, we've got the quick turnaround with a Thursday night game.
I was going to say, people don't realize coaches have to go back and watch film. You're up half the night and those kind of things as well. But saw Mom and Dad here. They waved at us a moment ago.
Yeah, they just got the house sold in Pittsburgh, so they'll be down here a lot more, and so just excited to be able to have them around.
Hang in there. Always a pleasure to talk to you. Win or lose, but certainly a tough loss tonight. We'll regroup and get ready for the big game next Thursday.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks. All right. Blake Butler joins us here in the postgame. It's going to wrap it up for us, I think. Our special thanks again to Grayson Resnick. Also our thanks to all the fine folks here that make it worthwhile to sponsor these games and support these young kids here at TCA in every endeavor they have. And, of course, Trace Robertson as well. Jay Cashin, our producer and director. Stan, a quick good night. I've got to go home and write a volleyball story, but good broadcast. Great effort by Jay Cashin, by the way. But we'll be back next Thursday at 6:30, sir.
We'll see everybody on Monday on the West Tennessee Sports High School Football Show. Tuesday on West Tennessee Sports about 5:15 for elementary school, followed by middle school football. And then Thursday, the big one, on the Worthy Road Studios BallGame Blitz Trinity Christian Academy Broadcast Network. TCA hits the road for the first time this year. TCA at Fayette Academy. Boy, it's been a while since these two teams have hooked up. And finally, TCA's Blake Butler and former TCA coach Michael Logan will get to hook up on the field. And you don't want to miss that one. I think TCA is going to come out, let's just say, very enthused on Thursday.
The life of an athletic director, Dexter Williams, is down below picking up trash here in the stands. That's going to wrap it up for us. For Stan Gerard, for Jay Cashin, and the entire crew, I'm Diamond Dave McCulley. God bless you. Have a great weekend. Back with you next Thursday. Look at Dexter. He's out there earning all that big money he makes. We'll be back next Thursday at 6:30. Kickoff at 7 from Somerville. Good night, everybody.